closing, and we're going to take you through the whole thing all night long. Tony, did you drink enough coffee?
Coffee, beef jerky, and Mountain Dew.
That ought to do it.
We're good to go, I think.
I wish I wasn't sitting this close, I must say. Although we are socially distanced, of course. We hope you are all having an excellent night. Don't forget, extended bidding begins at 10 p.m. Central Time, so you've got just over 2 hours to get your bids in before that begins. Time check? We're right. Yes. So Tony and I are going to talk about some of our favorite lots in the auction, some hidden gems, some of the big items, and everything in between. Tony, what's your number one favorite lot in the auction tonight?
Honus Wagner?
Yeah, there it is, right there. Big surprise. You're going to have to wear that all night, you know. By request.
By request?
And speaking of by request,
I want to take this home.
If you're joining us on our Facebook page, please feel free to put in any questions you might have, any comments. We do free appraisals all the time, so if you'd like to try and stump Tony, we'd love to see it. And we'd love to hear from you, of course. But, huge night for us. Everyone's excited.
Yeah, I mean, this auction is just incredible. It's at $23 million right now.
Yes.
And there is a lot of quality stuff, a lot of new to the hobby material as well. And yeah, a lot of hard work goes into putting these auctions together.
Yeah, look at this giant catalog here, Tony.
Yes.
It's a monster.
They're getting bigger and bigger every single year,
Yeah.
it seems like. But probably I think this might be our finest platinum night that we've ever had. And
this is Tony Giesi's stamp of approval.
yeah,
on
it definitely gets my stamp of approval.
What more could you want? So thank you to our global audience for joining us. Some of you jumping in from other places around the globe. Welcome. And without further ado, should we start talking about some of these items?
Let's start.
Yes. And of course, what better to start
We're
with?
really going to start, aren't we?
Yeah,
All
we
right.
are.
Okay.
It's on the cover of the catalog. It's number one in everyone's hearts in the hobby. This is it right here, the T206 Honus Wagner, the iconic card. Tony, would you like to give it a handle there?
This card still makes me tremble, makes me nervous, but
shake like a bowl full of jelly.
I get nervous just even holding this card, but it's an absolute treasure. You know, a lot of times we talk about things transcending sports, and you know, with this card it's a work of art, but it's something that it's not just for sports fans. I think everybody knows of the Honus Wagner
Even
card.
if you know nothing of collecting,
Yes.
you know the Honus Wagner card. Tony, when was the first time you saw one?
I saw one at the 1999 National. I think it was at PSA's booth.
Okay.
I think they had the Kendrick one. Back then it was the Charlie Sheen, Wayne Gretzky, Bruce McNall. They had it. I think they had it at a National. It was the first time I saw one, and I mean, it makes you nervous just
Look,
to
you're
see.
glowing just thinking about it, Tony.
I absolutely loved it, and you rarely ever see them. They're all pretty much in personal collections. We still get a lot of calls on them, but I don't think we've ever had one come in that wasn't already graded.
Yes.
You know, people
love to see a raw one. If you have one sitting in your collection, please reach out to us.
Absolutely.
Love to see it. Heritage, we've been lucky to handle a few. This one has a special story behind it. It belonged to former ball player and Today Show host, Joe Garagiola. He traded his 1954 game-worn uniform for it. Good deal, Tony?
Excellent deal.
Yeah,
he
was
a
top 10 hobby deal.
Yeah,
no doubt.
that one. I mean, Joe Garagiola, good player. Great announcer, by the way, too. But I think he got the better of that one.
Yeah, Pulitzer Prize-winning sports journalist Arthur Daly said there's something Lincoln-esque about him. His rugged homeliness, his simplicity, his integrity, and his true nobility of character. Tony, many have said
Joe
the same
Wagner?
about you.
Are you talking about Joe Garagiola?
No,
okay, I'm making sure.
He's not Lincoln-esque. The great Honus Wagner.
Yes.
John McGraw considered him the greatest ball player of all time. Ty Cobb, who was a contemporary, said he was the only ball player he couldn't intimidate. He was in the inaugural Hall of Fame class. I mean, he's checking all the boxes. And, of course, less than 70 known of this card for whatever reason there is. And
it is the card to have.
And it's going to post a huge number tonight, of course. And we're excited to see where it ends up. I'll remind everyone, you can go to at ha.com, our recent bid activity screen, if you're not already watching us there. And you can watch the bids come in live. And Tony will be keeping us posted on that. Tony, what's on the big board right now?
It's Michael Jordan, BGS Mint 9 Starr rookie, 140,000 right now. I think that had 100,000 estimate on it. That card is starting to gain a lot of momentum.
Actually came out during his rookie year?
It did. You've seen the 86, 87 just go crazy. Well, this one here, Mint 9, hard to find these in really good condition. Centering is always an issue. And
just like saying that.
Yeah, that was easy enough for me. But with the red borders on that, they chip very easily, and it's a difficult card to find in high grade.
We actually have an uncut sheet of that issue
with
both Jordan cards on it. We'll keep Tony away from it.
Yeah, that one, they haven't let me see that one. I don't know why.
And speaking of rookie cards, we'll move on to one of the most iconic cards, arguably the most important rookie card in the hobby, the 1916 M101 Sporting News Babe Ruth rookie. This one in SGC VG plus 3.5. This is from the John Esch collection, who, fabulous collector. We have a few of his items in this platinum auction and some more incredible items that will be coming up later. This one was issued during a season that saw the future home run king raise his career total of home runs to 7. It was a good
dead
number
ball era.
at the time. Yeah.
Right in the middle of the dead ball era.
Presents beautifully over a century later. Standard edge and corner wear from a dead ball era card, but just a beautiful one. And of course, not many out there, hard to find. So, I mean, all you have to say is Babe Ruth rookie, and there it is.
Yep.
That's
another card that's just gone up exponentially the last few years.
We sold one in a 4, and this 3.5 has already surpassed it.
Wow.
Yeah, so there you go. Things are moving fast in the hobby. We'll be talking about that tonight, of course. And since we talked about the Ruth rookie, we got to talk about this one up next. This is the 1917 Collins McCarthy Babe Ruth that was issued 1 year later. And in comparison, this makes that 1916 Ruth seem downright common by comparison. This is one of just 10 in the SGC population, and the highest graded example right here. In fact, resting so comfortably above its fellow inhabitants that it would require 3 full steps down to find the next closest one. Likewise, PSA has no representation superior to an EX5. So a beautiful, amazing card, and obviously the photo from the same photo shoot as his rookie card there, with Ruth as a pitcher. This is one that was distributed regionally, so that's a primary factor for its rarity.
For being so hard
But the condition is stunning, an SGC near mint to mint 8. You just don't find many cards from that era in that grade. This is one that will certainly upgrade even the most distinguished collection tonight, Tony.
Unbelievable stuff. Yeah, I mean, the card market has, just kept growing and growing and growing, and some of the finest cards in this auction.
The modern market, of course, very hot right now, but these high-end vintage are doing exceptional numbers, and I'm excited to see where that one ends up tonight as well.
No, it's good. There's going to be some spirited bidding going on at 10 o'clock tonight. It's going to be fun.
Even before,
yes. Yeah. Oh, there's been a lot of action, of course, in this auction, and this is the fun time for us to watch these bids come in and record-setting bids on a lot of this stuff. So. And
speaking of fun times, I've been monopolizing here, Tony. You got something you want to talk about?
I do. May 29th, 1995.
Derek Jeter debut.
How'd you know that?
Part of the job.
From his Major League debut, we have the lineup card, and that's the first time he ever appeared at the Major League level. First time with his name in the lineup, batting 9th, it looks like here. So he didn't start off as the captain.
Everybody's got to pay their dues.
They do. And I mean, we were talking about this before. Who would have thought to keep this?
Yeah.
Who would have thought to keep the lineup cards? I mean, Jeter was. He was a fairly big deal, but it wasn't like he was like Bryce Harper or something.
Right.
Where every step along the way, people were really following him. So just that this has survived, because most of the time, especially back then, they'd get thrown away.
Right.
They would be tossed away. But this one here, you've got the Seattle and the Yankees. You have both versions. Of course, Jeter. This one is signed by Buck Showalter, and it's at 14,500 with a 20,000 estimate. So it is definitely on its way. And this, if you have a Jeter collection, this is such a cool piece because you could have a game-worn jersey, you could have a bat, you can have all that stuff and cards. But this is so unique and.
And they did a great job of marketing his stuff from his final season.
They did.
So there's a lot of people out there that have a final season Jeter, and this would be the perfect bookend.
Exactly.
Right here. His opening.
You could put that in your man cave. Yeah. and it displays really well too. I will say that, and just a really cool piece, and I'm sure a lot of people will be on this one. Let me see how many people are tracking. Yeah, 33 trackers. So
there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Another great piece of memorabilia. A little more Yankees. They're the cornerstone of the hobby, Tony.
They are.
But this is just incredible. This is a circa 1934 Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig dual-signed baseball. PSA near mint plus 8.5, Tony.
That's shocking.
This is the finest Ruth Gehrig ball that PSA has ever graded. And they've seen it all.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, they have. And for as many as those guys signed when they were barnstorming, but you've got the nicest one, by far the nicest one. It's just an incredible ball. And I, as we say a lot of times, the thing that really sets us apart too is they are displayable. They're displayable from the same angle.
Right.
So
you
can
Ruth
see
on the
both
sweet
of them.
spot, of course,
Yeah.
but Gehrig nestled right up to that Ruth autograph. So as you can see in the image right there, you can display it perfectly. And this one has great provenance as well. It was gifted to a priest at St. Mary's Industrial School for the Boys, where Babe Ruth learned the game that would give him his immortality.
Is it Father Matthias was the one who was the...
Yes, the one who taught Ruth.
Who taught him.
The letter of provenance from this one reads, baseball came into our possession this way. My brother-in-law was born and raised in Maryland. When he was a boy, he played baseball on St. Mary's Industrial School's lot, and he once encountered Babe Ruth on the lot, and his claim to fame was that Babe Ruth said to him, "Hey kid, get the hell off this lot." He was really hurt and began to cry, and there was a priest there at the time and consoled him. Jack and that priest became best friends, and later in years, the same priest gave him this ball.
Oh, that is great.
So it's from a priest at the school where Ruth learned the game, and awesome Ruth anecdote.
Made one kid feel real bad.
He's well known for being very kind to children and encouraging.
Yes.
So you got to cut him some slack on this one.
Yeah.
He's just enforcing the rules. Kid, get off the lot. Maybe he was in danger, perhaps. He's trying to keep him safe.
No, I've never heard of Babe Ruth not signing an autograph. That's
Yes.
one thing you never hear about. He signed for everybody, and that's what's made autographs so popular. He was the first one that people really were going crazy to get his autograph. He always had a
carry
line
him around, signed business cards, so he didn't have to stop. He could just hand them out.
I like the ones where he's throwing them out of the the hotel. He's just throwing them out to kids. It's great stuff.
And while we're talking about Ruth Gehrig, we got to talk about this. This is the finest known Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig signed photo. It's a Type 1 photo, and the autographs are 9s. And the best thing about it, I mean, there's many great things about this, but the photos from the 1927 season,
That's
the most
got everything
magical
you could
season
want.
in baseball history, some would say, certainly in Yankees history. The autographs date to the 30s, but the photo is from 27, and I mean, it's both of them clad in Yankee pinstripes at the height of their individual and collective powers.
At the stadium,
there.
too. Speaking of Honus Wagner, we were talking about before, $440,000 for the photo match game used bat. Just got bid on. So.
We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Yeah, we're going to get to
I
it.
jumped the
Don't you
gun.
worry.
I'm sorry. Oh, man, what did I do?
So, a beautiful photo here, and, saying something's finest known, you're going to get a lot of controversy, but not with this one, unquestionably. Not personalized on the autographs as well, which is pretty rare for this photo, and just a stunning example.
And it's at, what, 400 and some odd thousand, isn't it?
That is correct.
It was like 420 when I last saw it.
What do you got over there, Tony? Got a photo you want to talk about, maybe?
Honus Wagner just got hit again, $450,000. Yeah, I got a great shoeless Joe Jackson, and one of the nicest Type 1s I have ever seen. Nice, beautiful image here. He's in his baseball uniform, up close, from 1917. So that was circa 1917. So right at the height of his career. It's at 8,500 right now. But one of the nicest, clearest Joe Jackson photos you are ever going to find. Incredibly difficult to find Joe Jackson Type 1 photos. There's just not a lot out there.
And that's a beautiful portrait.
It's an absolute stunning photo. A lot of date stamps on the back, so this was used quite often, which makes sense because it's such a great shot of him. So this one here, it's got a 20,000 estimate. I think it will hit that. 40 people are tracking it, but just a really beautiful Joe Jackson. And, we've got a lot of record prices on Joe Jackson stuff, from autographs to game used bats, and even a lot of his cards. I don't think anybody gets bigger numbers on Joe Jackson than we do. So just a great look into Joe Jackson.
And the photo market very healthy, and there aren't too many great Joe Jackson images out there.
No, there's just not many out there.
That's a fantastic one.
And speaking of photos, the next one here, the actual original photo from George Mikan's 1948 Bowman card. That one right now at 10,500. It's kind of the definitive look into George Mikan. And, there's been a lot of movement in the last few years on original photos used for cards. And for basketball cards, this is one of the most iconic cards there is.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that one. And Type 1
you see a lot of players in the NBA these days striking that pose.
No.
Their Harry Potter glasses on.
Yeah. What was he, about 6'10", and he was the biggest star in the early days of the NBA. But a great Type 1 photo. And right now at 10,500. And I've said it before. I've said it many times. I love these slabs. They really add a lot as far as collectability to
keeping it safe too.
Exactly. Yeah. They've really upgraded.
The top loader, you can just display it. You can frame it.
Yep.
Mat out the slab if you want. But you know it's going to be secure.
Exactly.
And if we're going to talk about that photo, then we got to talk about this card, which is also in the auction. The 48 Bowman George Mikan. This one's a PSA near mint to mint 8.
Jeez.
And as you were talking about his dominance, you could say he's one of the most influential players in basketball history. They had to rewrite the rule books for this man. Unassuming look, sure, but the goaltending rule was put in. They widened the lanes. They added the shot clock because of Mikan. So he totally changed the game. The father of big men right there.
He was the first one. He was really the first big man, that was kind of a superstar. So
Prolific shot blocker, rebounding, ambidextrous hook shot.
Wow.
He can do it all, yeah. To sum him up, to call him just a player is like describing Ty Cobb as a batter or Cy Young as a pitcher. He was what set the league on the course that it would eventually get on. Just dominant, and of course, iconic rookie card here. It's been surpassed only 5 times in 350 submissions to PSA. So, people who are collecting Jordan and LeBron and Giannis cards, this is the guy who started it.
He is.
We've been talking about how the modern part of the market has brought a lot of kids and young people back into the hobby, and that's great. Let's get as many people under the tent as possible. You collect what you love, but then you start to learn the history.
About the history of the game, absolutely.
And, for basketball, this is where it really begins as far as superstardom.
Yep.
With George Mikan there. Since we were talking about photos and that were used on iconic cards, this card here, we also have the original photo used for this one. This is the 1933 Buttercream Babe Ruth, and it's an SGC Authentic. Fantastic story behind this card.
Well, I love the title, 50 Years in the Making.
Yeah.
I love that
I thought
title.
you meant buttercream, because I know you love both of those
Oh, I do.
things.
Buttercream frosting for our birthday cakes. That was a big deal. Absolutely.
The Buttercream Confectionery in Union City, New Jersey, just across the Hudson River from Manhattan. And, of course, the candy company best remembered today for making this issue in 1933. And, of course, Babe Ruth still maintained the hearts of New Yorkers in 1933. But for many years, nobody knew why Ruth wasn't included in the set. There wasn't a Ruth card from this issue known until 1989 was the first time one surfaced. Yeah, so there's where that 50 years comes in.
That's what it is, okay.
And it elevated the set's subject count to 33, which is where it still stands.
What's the story?
Today.
Is there, I mean, why they didn't, or did they just not?
That's something you're going to have to research, Tony. Nobody knows.
Nobody? Serious? Okay.
Just
That's
presumably a small initial print run, and the passage of nearly a century is why it was so rare. Also, the cards were viewed as contest entry forms. So you can see on the back it said to guess the player's batting average, and you'd send it back into the company. So surely a lot of them were used for that,
okay.
sent back in. No doubt the company just tossed them afterwards. Presumably there was some prize. It makes no mention on it. So this is one of those issues that still has a lot of mystery surrounding it. A lot to be discovered. Internet sleuths out there, get on it. We'd love to see what you can find out.
Come on, Pete Calderon.
Today, fewer than 600 examples from the entirety of the issue are graded. So not much out there, and this is one of the finest ones right here. And if you like that card, you're going to love this, because we have the original photo used to make that card, and it is a beautiful image of Ruth. You can see on the card, it's cut down to a thin slip. This is the full image right here. Maybe one of the finest Ruth portraits we've ever encountered, and the image is from 1920. So
first year
with the Yankees. There he is. Look how young he is, Tony.
Oh, man.
Remarkable clarity and quality. It was in the baseball magazine archives for decades, and used for one of the rarest Ruth cards ever. And to be clear, this is not just the same image, but the actual print of the image edited for the production of that set.
Oh, it is? Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So an incredible image of an incredibly rare card, and the image is from his first season with New York. So hard to beat that one right there.
Wayne Gretzky, PSA 9, 115,000 right now.
Wow.
Very
a lot
tough
of bids
card.
coming in. We're going to keep you apprised of those.
That's my one job I got to make sure I do.
Yeah, you got one job.
I have one job to do.
How do I get that gig?
We got a comment from Facebook from Mark Seeger. He says, Mikan looks like someone's accountant.
He's right. That's a
very
good call.
Accurate.
That's a very...
But look out. Maybe your accountant can hoop. Don't just write him off. Because Mikan was dominant. But yeah, he does look like an accountant or, somebody that works in a cubicle for sure.
LeBron James high school worn shoes gifted by Kobe Bryant, 65,000. I think those are going to hit 100. That will be a record for Kobe shoes. I'm telling you right now.
Shoes that were incredibly special to LeBron as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We have an interview where he mentions those shoes actually. I'm not sure when the interview was, but talking about those specific shoes, and they are photo matched. So
there's got that done, didn't we?
Yeah.
Photo matching. Well, while we're talking about the 1933, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this one. It's the 1933 Gaudy Mel Oddy SGC Gem Mint 10. The only Gem Mint 10 example in either major grading services population. This is the finest 33 Gaudy Ott right here. Beautiful card.
He looks imposing, doesn't he?
He does.
He looks really, really focused.
I love the green background, and of course, you're never going to see a better version than this right here. As far as Mel Oddy, fantastic player, but it's not talked about a lot. On the short list of his most impressive accomplishments, Tony, Ott finished first in team rankings for home runs 18 consecutive seasons.
Did he really? Wow.
From 28 to 45.
That's incredible.
The only man in baseball history to build a streak of that length in any of the Triple Crown categories. Youngest player to 100 home runs. Also.
He was not a very big, tall man. He was about 5'10", maybe.
Who are you to talk, Tony?
Yeah, I know, I'm sure too, but he had his high leg kick, and his autograph is very difficult to find a single signed ball, and there's not a lot of his game use stuff out there either. So yeah, there's not a ton of Mel Ott memorabilia out there, and as far as cards go, that's the best of the best.
This is it. This is the only 1933 Gaudy from nearly 29,000 submissions to SGC to get to a 10.
To get a 10. And they're very difficult on grading.
They are.
They are very, very
rightfully so.
Yep.
All right, Tony, take over. What
All
do you got
right.
over there?
This one here, it just, when I saw the number of it on this one, now this is a SGC 100 pristine Walter Payton, 1976 tops. White borders, and it's at 110,000 right now. It's the best of the best. You know, Gem Mint 10 is one thing, but when you get a pristine 100, there are no flaws on this card. Centering 50-50, iconic card, of course, of Walter Payton. As a Packer fan, I liked Walter Payton, and I don't think anybody didn't like Walter Payton. You know, he had a very infectious personality, and he played the game with such passion. And but SGC 100 at 110,000, just an incredible number on probably the card of the 70s.
Oh yeah, tough card too.
It is. Centering on those, it's always so difficult. Even though, I mean, you know, the borders are white, so you wouldn't think there'd be a lot of chipping ones, but centering is just so difficult on these 70s cards. And
Is this a card you had in your collection?
I have never had a Payton rookie.
Wow.
I've never had a Payton rookie. No.
And this one's way out of your league, right?
Yeah, I'd say. The wife would divorce me. I think I would be handed papers tonight by when I got home. Honey, look what I got. No.
You could lay this on the empty side of the bed, that card.
You should say, honey, look what you got.
Yeah.
From Facebook, Larry Studebaker says,
Oh,
hello, Larry.
big,
One of the
big
best guys
fan.
in the hobby, right
Larry,
there.
we have to go out for lunch one of these days, hopefully next month, because I haven't seen it. It's been way too long since I've seen Larry.
Yeah, and everybody wants to know about your lunch plans, Tony. So you keep people apprised of the bids on the bid board and who you're going to lunch
All
with,
right.
please.
One of my favorites in this hobby, though, Larry. He's just an incredible guy, and as far as autographs go, he's one of the most respected guys in this industry.
Absolutely.
Big shout out. Big fan.
If anybody else has any questions, comments, wants to go to lunch with Tony, now's the time
And Larry?
to jump in. Yeah, Larry will be in there too. He could tell some stories about Tony, so that'd be pretty good. Up next, 2000 playoff contenders, Tom Brady. This is the rookie ticket autograph. This one's a PSA 8. Tom Brady, pretty good? You going to go out on a limb?
There will never be another one like him. There will never be another. 7 Super Bowls. That is shocking. I'm continually amazed at what he's done. And, he's such a good story, though, too. 199th pick. You would think everybody should love Tom Brady. The ultimate
he was the
feel-good story.
4th string quarterback when he started in 2000.
Yeah. And, this year, to go into Tampa, an organization that was just,
floundering, let's be honest.
Exactly. And to win a Super Bowl, my goodness, yeah. Invest in Brady because this stuff, it's not going down.
Advice too late for some?
Yeah.
Breaking news. Tony's ready to say invest in
Buy Tom Brady, everybody. That's my stock tip of the night. That's my collecting tip.
And this is the most valuable Tom Brady rookie autograph card in the hobby. Everyone's favorite, something that's definitely going to appreciate in value. You think he's going to win another Super Bowl next year?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Don't question him. Don't question him. And here we go. Up next, the man who was on the losing end of that Super Bowl, but I think he's going to have another one in him too.
Even in defeat, he looked amazing.
Yes.
Falling down and throwing a 40 or 50-yard pass when he was like
on the money.
Yes. Hits the guy in
Tony falls down a lot, but he can't throw a pass while he's doing it.
I can't throw more than 10 yards probably.
To that. So this is the 2017 Panini Contenders Pat Mahomes auto. This is a Gem Mint 9.5 auto 10 from BGS. And I'm just going to start with a quote about Patrick Mahomes from writer Pete Grathoff of the Kansas City Starr, who, when he was drafted with the 10th pick, said, between his inconsistent accuracy due to poor mechanics, his tendency to bail from clean pockets, and his lack of field vision, he's going to leave as many big plays on the field as he creates.
Wow.
Yeah.
Think you'd like to have that?
Scouting's a
that
tough business, people. Scouting is a tough business. So he wasn't, a late round pick like Brady, but he wasn't the number 1 pick either. And obviously there was some criticism about him coming out.
And he had to sit a year. That first year, he sat behind Alex Smith.
And he had that stigma of the Texas Tech quarterbacks. They'd always put up big numbers, but they couldn't do anything in the pros. And he has, I guess you could say, shattered that.
Yeah. And he's a very likable player, too.
Yes.
He's very likable. does a ton of commercials, and yeah, he's the future of that league.
And coming up in our March showcase auction, which is going to launch on March 4th, we have his earliest known autograph. How old was he when he signed that autograph?
He was 6 years old, and the
6
story
years old.
we have the lady telling the story, and it is just fantastic. And that was a social media. I think that's where that came in from, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
It's the future, Tony, as we've discussed.
It's so cute, though. You got Pat Mahomes autograph, and then you've got just P-A-T. It is just absolutely so cute.
That's still how Tony writes his name.
I
much,
do.
so.
I do.
Tony, you got any football cards you want to talk about?
This one's near and dear. SGC 9, Bart Starr, 1957 Topps rookie. Just well-centered, sharp corners. Very hard card to find in this type of condition because, again, we talked about the pitfalls of centering, and one of just 2 at the top of the SGC population. It's got a 40,000 estimate right now. It's at 52,500.
Wow.
Bart Starr stuff, of course, very, very popular. It's a great set because you've got Unitas and you've got Star rookies in there. And why not get the best of the best?
And that's what you come to Heritage for. Correct?
Exactly.
All right. We are going to take a short break. Let Tony get some more beef jerky and Mountain Dew.
And Mountain Dew. I'll be flying around here
course.
pretty soon.
I'll move a few more inches over. A reminder to everyone, you can bid tonight. Extended bidding closes at 10 p.m. We've got session 2 tomorrow night as well. We'll talk about some of that stuff. Until then, take a look at some of the rookie cards we have on offer this evening. Even a layman knows the rookie card of a Hall of Famer holds value, which is why the eyes of everyone from hobby experts to casual observers will be on our Winter Platinum Night auction closing, which features a dizzying array of cardboard debuts from the biggest legends in sports history. The auction features everything from the Bambino's 1916 M1014 Sports News rookie card to the Greek Freak's 2013 Panini National Treasures debut, and everything in between, a Hall of Fame caliber selection of the most important rookie cards in the hobby. Bidders will compete for iconic cards from the greatest on the diamond, court, field, ice, and even the squared circle. These offerings will elevate even the most distinguished collections to new levels. Find the one you need now at ha.com. Ah, the dulcet tones on that voiceover. I don't know who did that. Fantastic.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So, while we are on the topic of rookie cards, we've got some really incredible ones, and we're going to start with this one right now. It's a 1949 Bowman Duke Snider rookie, PSA Gem Mint 10.
Jesus,
Tony.
that's incredible.
Top 1 of 1. You know, and in that era, it was the 3 center fielders in New York. You got Mantle, you got Snider, you got Mays, and this was the first one to make it to the bigs from 1949. This is the only specimen of the Duke's
Gem Mint 10
rookie card.
That's incredible.
In PSA or SGC with a perfect rating. This is the cream of the crop right here for Duke Snider. Only 48 cards from the entire issue have managed a 10 in nearly 70,000 submissions to both SGC and PSA.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so tough issue to get a 10 in, obviously. And Hall of Famer, icon, Duke Snider, this is the only one at the top of the heap. This is a huge card.
When you say the best of the best, there it is. I mean, and everybody wants to have the best, and that is it right there.
Tony, you're the best.
Oh,
glad we got you.
You're making me blush, Mike.
So
let's check the bid board real quick.
Yeah, get on it.
Jake Scott, we have Jake Scott's collection being offered. We have one of his Super Bowl rings is, I believe, his 72 ring right now, $70,000. He was the MVP of that Super Bowl.
Only undefeated season.
Only undefeated team. If you're a Dolphins fan, that is one of the absolute best items you could ever own. We have some great items from his collection.
And from his college career, Georgia.
We do.
Too,
That's
if you're
true.
a Bulldogs fan out there. So, speaking of Duke Snyder and his rookie card, then we got to talk about this one right here.
Mantle?
51 Bowman Mickey Mantle rookie. Beautiful card. PSA near mint to mint 8. Outstanding. The beautiful image. The young phenom gripping the tool of his immortality right there. Tony, what do you like better, the 51 Bowman or the 52 Mantle?
I have to say the 52 just because it's such a iconic card.
True.
But this one has gone up in value quite a bit over the years as well because it's his true rookie card. I will say that. The 52 Topps because they're...
Thanks for admitting that,
Yes,
Tony.
yes. And, more breaking news. That is his rookie card, everybody. I'm really dropping some knowledge here, huh?
So great one here. Of course, that's one that is steeply climbing in value.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of vintage cards are, and that one, of course. The common faults of this early breed of card, the poor registration, the centering, the wax and gum stains, absent from this example. And I believe it's approaching 500,000 or surpassed it already tonight. So unbelievable there. And of course, another great rookie card here. This is the 54 Topps Hank Aaron rookie. PSA Mint 9.
I love that card. I love the background. The color on it is just fantastic. I love that orange background.
Yeah.
I love that set. I think that's one of the most beautiful sets Topps had ever made. You've got the two Ted Williams as bookends, and that is just such a stunning card. It really is.
Very aesthetically pleasing set, especially in a mint 9 condition there. Color, registration, and centering, unimprovable on this one. Only twice in PSA history has a Aaron rookie outshone this elite specimen right here. One of only 25 in a mint 9, so very hard to come by. And of course, another iconic card. Speaking of icons and rookie cards, this is one that has been shocking me, has been climbing up the bid board. I mean, it's not surprising me, it's just very impressive. This is the 69
Yeah, that
Topps
one has
Reggie
surprised me too.
Jackson. PSA Jim Mint 10. Love him or hate him, no arguing how great he was.
Yeah, yeah.
And
the straw that stirs the drink.
the straw. Tony, you are the straw that stirs the drink at Heritage. Truly, why don't you have your own candy bar? I've been
I used to
asking
eat
that
those
forever.
candy bars.
I've been eye-powering that for over a decade now. Nothing.
I remember eating Reggie bars growing up.
What's that at, Tony? Look it up while I say that.
It was like 312 when I let me see.
This is the sole Jim Mint 10 representation of nearly 8,000 that appear in a PSA slab. So,
Oh my God, it's at 360 right now.
360,000. This from the Dimitri Young collection, which we're going to be talking about a lot tonight. The former ball player and very seasoned and excellent collector who subscribed to the Jim Mint 10 or nothing philosophy. And this one stems from his collection and just a beautiful example issued on the 100-year anniversary of baseball, Tony.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, they had the patch that year. That's right.
What are Reggie bars?
It's a candy
bar.
bar. Oh. Our video guy will be suspended for a week because he does not know what the Reggie Jackson had a candy bar in the early, had to be the early 80s because he went to when he went to California in 82, so it must have been like 79 or 80. They made the Reggie bar, and it was in, I think it was an orange package or red package. It might have been like an orange package.
Tony knows his candy.
Oh God, yeah. Oh my goodness. And it's a photo of him, swinging, and then it just says Reggie across the front.
One of his teammates said when you open a Reggie bar, it tells you how good it tastes.
That is a great quote, Mike. I never knew that.
So we've been talking about rookie cards.
Oh my
We have an
God.
incredible early career, not even career item. Tony, what do you got over there?
I'm sorry, your line about Reggie Jackson's got me.
It's not mine. I'm just reporting it.
Hey, 84-85 uncut sheet, 21,000.
Wow.
Which they are not letting me look at. So.
Yeah, a good thing.
So this one came in, the hoop that Kobe Bryant pretty much learned the game of basketball from. This was actually bought from their house in Philadelphia. Kobe grew up in, I think it was in Italy, where his dad played professionally. And then when his dad's professional career was done, he moved back to the United States, and they settled in Philadelphia. And this is the hoop that TMZ reported on it. And this 29,000, I can see this thing going up even more.
So he was 13 years old when he started using this hoop. He was the first freshman in decades to start on the varsity team at Lower Merion, a very reputable high school basketball program. And this is the hoop he was practicing on. There is no hoop on earth that received more Kobe Bryant shots than this one right here.
That's a great point. It's a great point. I mean, just imagine the hours and the hundreds of shots or thousands of shots he took.
I mean, 10,000 hours. This is what you're talking about with
Yep.
somebody like Kobe.
Yep.
He definitely put that time in. He was on this hoop. You know, he'd watch Jordan and then come out
Go outside
and practice
yep.
it. This is the hoop he was doing it on. So his family moved. They sold the house to someone else. And when that family sold it, the hoop was too prized a possession to just let go with the home sale. So now we've got it here. And tonight, somebody's going to take that home. I mean, they're not going to take it home tonight. They're going to win it.
There's that big pole that's attached to it. I remember when that came in from, because the guy who consigned it brought it to the New York office, and they had to put it on a truck to get it down here.
Ooh,
and,
peek behind the curtain.
A little bit.
HA operation.
And that was an interesting one because when I took the call, I told him, I said, we're going to estimate it at 10,000 plus. You don't want to start it too high. That's a kind of piece you want to start lower to get action on it.
Get people interested.
Exactly, and that's one of the benefits of starting it low was because it got people, it got action, and of course, well, now it's at 29,000.
And we're the industry leader in hoops because we sold the hoop. Jordan hit the
oh,
shot.
we did. That's right.
On with the Cavs. We sold the hoop. Jordan hit the shot in the NBA Finals on against the Jazz. The final shot. That's in the Chicago Sports Museum right now, if you want to see it. So if you've got
and the Kobe court.
Yeah, and the Kobe court. If you've got an iconic piece of basketball court or hoop, who else are you going to call but Heritage? Call Tony Giese.
For those large, bulky items, give us a call.
Give them to our Tony Giese. He handles all that stuff. And speaking of Kobe, huge card. Tony, look this up if you can. Let's see where it's at. I've got it right here in my hand. One of my favorites. This is the 96-97 Topps Chrome Refractors Kobe Bryant. This one's a BGS. Ooh, pristine 10.
410,000.
Wow.
Now those were on the average.
Huge.
I believe it was one per box, and they made one for every card in the set. So to get one of those, it was incredibly difficult. I remember when that card went up like crazy in about 1998, the summer of '98. That card just went way, way up.
Where were you in the summer?
I was in college at UW Green Bay, and I remember on a Beckett magazine cover, they had that card, and everybody wanted it, but those refractors are so difficult.
So the refractors appeared within approximately 1 out of every dozen Topps Chrome packs.
Okay.
There's 220 subjects in the refractor roster, so that makes the odds of pulling this card well past 2,500 to 1 right there. And this is a glorious example of his most coveted rookie card, for sure. Just 0.5 off on centering from a black label right here.
A lot of bids coming in. A lot of action here on this Topps Mini. George Brett, 38,000 right now. Just went up $3,000. The 75 minis are very popular.
Yes.
Smaller card, of course, but again, a lot of issues with centering on those things and chip corners. So that's getting some really good action.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the 86 Fleer Michael Jordan and a PSA Gem Mint 10. Talked about it a lot, Tony. Breaking news, people like Michael Jordan cards. Michael Jordan everything.
Breaking news, that card has gone up a lot.
Yes. I remember we were doing our Platinum Auction closing show almost 1 year ago to date, before COVID started, before The Last
Oh
Dance
my goodness.
aired, and I believe we sold one of these in a 10 for just over 30,000.
That's
We were talking about a crazy price, insane price for it, and who knows where this one will end up tonight. Certainly not where it's at right now. It's
yeah, those have just gone to levels that I had one of my guys call me, hey, should I buy them for 200? I'm like, no, it's actually at the top of there's no way it's going to go up anymore. And that's how smart I am, guys. Because now it's about 600,000.
That's why we work at an auction house. It's kind of that theory, those who can't do coach.
Yes,
so,
that's a very good call, Mike.
So we're here to advise, and but Jordan material's been coming out of the woodwork, and this next card is one of my favorite Jordan cards. Incredibly rare. This is the 2000 Ultimate Collection Michael Jordan Ultimate Signatures Gold This one's a PSA Gem Mint 10. This makes those Fleer rookies look downright common by comparison. This is number 21 of only 25. Just 25 examples of this card scattered throughout the Upper Deck packs, and this one's a PSA Gem Mint 10. I love the design on it as well. Flawless blue ink signature from his airness right there. And Jordan would return to the NBA as a member of the Wizards the year after this card was produced. So a very cool one. A lot of people getting priced out on the 86 Fleer Jordans, especially in a 10. Even in a 9 now, people are getting priced out. I'm priced out on 2s, personally. So, but this is a cool example, far rarer than the 86 Fleer. So if you're giving up on getting the 86 Fleer, this is a great one to add to your collection that hardly anyone is going to have. So good brag-worthy card right there, and a pop 1 of 1. Bragging's an important part of the hobby, Tony, as you
There's
know.
a lot of it.
And we're going to keep it going with basketball. Another iconic card here. This is the 03 Bowman Chrome Rookies and Stars, LeBron James. This is the Chrome Gold Refractor in a BGS Gem Mint 9.5, Tony. Massive surge in LeBron card prices, of course. Another big story of the last couple years, especially the last year. So, good story here. Just over 2 years ago, another example of this limited edition of 50 gold refractors rated a PSA 10 commanded a winning bid of $20,000. That was 2 years ago. In December, upped it to $288,000. So, a great investment.
Yeah, whoever bought that card looks like a genius right
Yes, we advised them to buy it, though, and said, they were like, should I do 20? I don't know. And you're like, yeah, go ahead and do 20. Why not?
A really interesting bidding war, right, that has taken place.
Let's hear it.
The George Hurley 1933 Redskins game-worn jersey, the first year of the Redskins.
I think you mean football team?
Yeah, I'm sorry, the football team.
We are in Dallas, so yeah, football team.
So 10 minutes ago, that was at 26,000. It's doubled. It's at 52,000.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's at 72,500 right now.
Oh my gosh.
It's gone up from 26,000 to 72,500.
Well, that is an unbelievable
That
one
is
of a kind
incredible. That
piece.
had a 30,000 estimate. It's a beautiful jersey. We're going to talk about it in a little bit, but that tells you what can happen in an auction. That's a perfect example. 72,000. It's gone up almost 50 grand.
And speaking of, I was talking about LeBron. You're talking about game-worn stuff. What do you want to talk about?
Okay.
Can you bring those two together?
We are going to. These.
There it is.
I'm convinced these are gonna break 100,000 at 70 grand right now. LeBron James 2002 shoes that were found at an estate sale in the Akron area.
If your friends make fun of you for going to estate sales and you say you're never gonna find anything valuable, it's slim, but it is out there. And we've got a couple stories like that we're gonna have coming up tonight.
And this is how dumb I am. I'll tell you this. Somebody called me on these, and I'm like, oh God, these are so ugly, and they're so hokey. What are the odds that these are actually real? And I got back to the lady, and I said, well, we'd estimate them. I think we did 20 grand.
Yeah.
And right now they're
Bad
at
estimate,
70.
Tony.
A lot. Like I said, start them lower. That'll get action on it. Well, these ended up getting photo matched. Again, these shoes were never released to the public, but they did photo match, and LeBron talked about them. A lot of the sneakerheads and websites have really picked up on this. So a lot of action the entire way. The consignor is absolutely thrilled.
I'm sure.
They are. It's
I
life
bet they're
changing.
gonna go back out to.
Yeah, they're gonna go back
tomorrow.
out. I would be going to every estate sale I could possibly go to. I think.
That's an iconic piece.
It is.
Kobe
It is.
giving them to LeBron. LeBron wears them in an exhibition game against Carmelo, and then they've been photo matched. We got that interview. You can watch at ha.com of LeBron talking about these shoes. And, sneakers is a great community and a great collecting community, not just the game worn, but just any sneakers in general. And this one's turning a lot of heads. It's going to be
And they're
the most
funky.
The most valuable LeBron game worn shoes out there.
Two big bids just came in. Honus Wagner, $825,000. And George Hurley is continuing to go strong, $82,000.
Wow.
So This night you're going to see just so much action at the end, and we're starting to see it right now. And it's almost just under 24 million. So.
And a comment from Facebook from Jason Lacombe says, Mike looks like he should be teaching English lit at a local community college with those fine threads on. And I'll tell you, I've spent many years trying to teach Tony English, and I think it's sounding pretty good so far. Not too many slip-ups tonight.
You get an A+, Mike.
Tony.
He puts up with me.
Thank you, Jason. I got to dress it up a little bit. Tony goes casual. Actually, this is dressed up for Tony. So
I did have my sport coat at my desk, so I almost wore
nobody
it.
wants to see Tony in a sport coat.
No.
That's like seeing Emmitt Smith in a Cardinals uniform.
Yes. We have a nice Emmitt Smith Cardinals helmet, by the way. I think that's. I don't know if that's why you said it, but
of course, it's the segue.
Oh, Mike, you are talented, my friend. Really cool. These are Steph Curry photo match from Christmas Day.
And the NBA owns Christmas Day.
Yeah, they do. I remember my grandmother getting mad at me because I wanted to watch Shaq play with the Orlando Magic Christmas Day, and she was not a big fan of me wanting to watch the Orlando Magic.
Who doesn't want to watch Shaq play? Whatever.
It was against the Bulls too, if I'm not mistaken. They lost. 2011 photo match, Christmas Day. It has the Bible verse on the side. And, again, when you can say photo matched on something like this, it really brings another layer to it. And great shoes, $7,500 right now. For a guy that's helped change the game. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's one of those generational players that has just opened it up, and now the NBA is just three-pointer. It used to be dump the ball down low, kick it back, dump it in.
Ben Simmons still fighting that trend.
Yeah, he's still fighting it. But a great.
Ben.
Yeah, Steph Curry shoes. Sneakers.
And got the photo match for those?
They do, yes.
Speaking of shoes, the man who started it all, really, Michael Jordan. This pair, 84-85, Michael Jordan, game-worn Air Jordan 1, Tony. Rookie prototype sneakers. So, Jordan completed just 2 games of his sophomore season before breaking a bone in his foot that sidelined him for the rest of the year. These shoes survived because of that. Sneakers are consigned to auction by Glenn Cumberland, a leading specialist in custom foot orthopedics? Yeah, yes. In Michigan, who was commissioned by the Bulls to tend to their hobbled young star. They met at the Bulls facility in Deerfield, and this is what the letter of provenance said. Quote, I met Michael in the Bulls Deerfield practice facility. I cast his feet to make him orthopedics. I requested a pair of his shoes to make sure that they fit properly. He gave me a pair that he had worn. I was told that it was the first pair of red, white, black Air Jordans.
Wow.
Doctors have all the luck. Right?
Yeah.
Seriously.
We had the doctor's collection from the Dream Team. Remember? We
Yes.
had that a few years ago. You're right.
So perhaps the earliest surviving incarnation of the shoe that started the greatest dynasty in athletic footwear history. Right here. These were the shoes the NBA did not like. They were fining Jordan. Nike took advantage. Their marketing campaign was the most controversial shoe in sports. And newsflash, it worked.
It did.
So these are the prototype, the Air Jordan 1. You can see a slight deviation from the finished product that assures these to be among the earliest Air Jordan sneakers ever laced to their namesake's feet.
It changed the game.
Huge
George Hurley, $90,000.01.
That's good bidding right
there. That is very,
Clever
very
bidding.
Strategic bidding.
And speaking of game-worn basketball material, I love this one right here, Tony.
I love that design.
74-75 Maurice Lucas game-worn Spirits of St. Louis game-worn rookie uniform. A lot going on in that title right there. And the backstory on this, one of the most unusual rags to riches stories in professional sports. So this is a franchise that staggered through the rogue American Basketball Association as the Houston Mavericks, then the Carolina Cougars, before effectively restarting from scratch as the Spirits of St. Louis for just 2 years. Then they saw their daily attendance drop to the triple digits in an 18,000-seat arena. Can you imagine?
The ABA had so much flair to it.
I was a ball boy for the Mavericks in the early 90s. I did it for 2 years. They won 25 games combined
in 2 years.
Those 2 years. It was the
Wow.
Jason Kidd's rookie year. So I've seen an arena that looks like that. And it is not
29 games in 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Under 25. I believe they won 13 one year and 10 the next year. It was awful. My dad had to drive me to the games, and he'd read a book during the games. That's how bad it was. But they got Jason.
That is
they got
awesome.
Kidd. He turned it around.
Mr. Provenzale.
So yeah, that's what the spirits of St. Louis were looking at. But as the ABA was wiped from existence through bankruptcies and an NBA merger, the Silna brothers, who owned this franchise, struck a precedent future television revenue deal with the league and have reaped close to $1 billion over the next 4 decades without ever fielding a team again. That's fantastic business right there. They were making moves. So it was a blink and you'll miss it moment for the Spirits of St. Louis, but they came up with one of the greatest logos and uniforms, and you can see it right there. Of course, paying tribute to Charles Lindbergh's solo flight, and it was worn by the team's greatest star, no doubt. Maurice Lucas, 4-time NBA All-Star, 77 NBA champion, one of the first enforcers in league history, if that's your thing. My favorite player all time, Charles Oakley.
I loved Oakley.
So,
Oakley Car Wash. Remember the
yes.
Car Wash in New York?
Big
Slam
in the
magazine.
Bronx right there. So just a stunner. The cheesecloth game-worn uniform here. And the game wear is outstanding, and it comes with a letter of provenance from Lucas's son. So it's got everything.
It's got everything you
need
want.
Right
Couple
there.
really, really big bids have just come in. Babe Ruth game used bat, PSA DNA game used 9.5, 850,000. And the Jackie Robinson, we're going to talk about the Robinson photo, the 47 original news photo, used for his 48 Leaf rookie card, 115,000. So
And that's going to go higher, I think.
It will.
That's
it will.
an amazing piece.
It is. It is.
Got a comment from YouTube.
All right. Hello to the YouTube audience.
This is from Mr. Baseball. Hi guys, I have a
Bob Uecker?
Tom Selleck?
I like you, Mike.
Hi guys, I have a Honus Wagner model leather baseball glove. I found it at my grandfather's house. It's actually a lefty's mitt, labeled as model KB with a brass button strap and cloth label. Does it have much value? Appreciate your assistance. P.S. It is nice. It is in nice condition given the age.
Yeah, so it's a store model glove. Those are usually in the hundreds, and it really comes down to condition on those things because people would usually use it until there was nothing left. It's probably
That's how Tony used all his gloves.
Exactly.
Like,
My
other
first
than
glove was a
that,
Dave Winfield model glove.
like Devon White's glove.
Oh my
Remember
God!
that?
When we interviewed him for that, I mean, he just lit up when he had his glove and telling stories about it. It was, I mean, that thing was used. I think he used one glove his whole career.
That's correct. One
And
glove for
that
his
is
entire
amazing.
career.
And it just, I mean, they just refixed it up, redid this, redid that. It was amazing.
So,
125,000 on the Jackie Robinson just went up in there. 10
see, I told you. I said it was going to go up more. If anybody else has
Yeah, how did you know?
comments,
I mean,
I
Mike,
could just feel it. That is just an amazing piece, and we're going to get to that one just shortly. But first, got to talk about this 85 Dr. J game-worn 76ers jersey. In the same way that Babe Ruth revolutionized baseball, Dr. J changed the game forever. Took it above the rim.
did.
Put the slam dunk into the American lexicon. We were just talking about the ABA-NBA merger. You could say he is the reason that happened. Certainly no player is more responsible than him. So this uniform was worn by the veteran superstar for 8 games, and some good games, scoring 20 points, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 14 points, 25 points, 9 rebounds, just dominating as he would. And beautiful jersey. It's autographed, Julius Dr. J. Irving. He put the nickname in there as well, 9 out of 10 autograph, and it has a fantastic letter of provenance. So it's pretty rare for a garment from a top 50 player to emerge on the auction block with both great game wear and team provenance, which this has. So this one is one that could be in Springfield in the Hall of Fame, but
Absolutely.
tonight it's going to go into somebody's collection.
And speaking of Dr. J, we got a pair from 1977, a game-used pair of sneakers with Dr. J stamped on it. So he was one of the few guys that actually had his name or his nickname stamped on. He dated it to 1977. Excellent use on these things. Great game use on them. And right now they're at $8,000. Sneakers have really gone up in value, much more than like football cleats or baseball cleats. Basketball shoes, it's a style, it's a status symbol kind of thing. And
it's like the bat. I mean,
yeah, it is. It is. That's a very
good.
That's a very good call.
Use out there.
That's a very good call. Yeah. So I mean, these have the vintage autograph, dated to the year, and excellent use.
And for a high flyer like Dr. J, having the shoes is cool. All right. Speaking of another high flyer, I should have let you talk about this one, but
oh man,
the 2013 Panini National Treasures Giannis rookie patch auto. It's in a BGS 8 with an auto 10. Beautiful card here. Just 25 examples of this elegant insert card, randomly put into Panini hobby boxes. And this is the highly desirable #1 example.
Wow.
Right here, 1 out of 25. Of course, card collectors love to have the 1 or the uniform number, which is an option here with only 25. So the #1 right there. Blue Sharpie signature, perfect 10, and just an amazing card here. His RPA has come to be recognized among the most prized assets in the industry. Tony's pumping his fist.
Tomorrow, 2:30, big game. They need a signature win.
Who they playing?
The Clippers.
Oh.
Drew Holiday is back. That's breaking news. Also breaking news. He's back from
Keeping
COVID.
you apprised.
I can't wait. I can't wait. So the Bucks need to make a big run. Now's the time.
Speaking of teams that need to make a big run, let's talk about the 2018 Panini Prism. Luka Doncic right here. Tough loss to the Sixers the other night. But a beautiful offering right here from one of the biggest stars in the game going right now. Definitely an MVP candidate. If he can wrest it from Giannis's mighty grip.
You've got away with words,
Embiid
Mike.
in that conversation too right now. A lot in the race right now. But the 2019 Rookie of the Year. This is the Red Shimmer Prism and a PSA Gym Mint 10. One of only 7 right here. So very limited issue. And it's already technically rarer than its contemporary, the Optic Gold Vinyl Rookie. So this is one the modern side is going to go nuts for, and I expect to see some fireworks for it tonight. Speaking of fireworks, it's time to take a little break, Tony.
All right. I got to make a call right now, too.
We talked about Ruth and Gehrig earlier, but in the hobby, you can never talk too long about Ruth and Gehrig. And also, Tony, we have over 40 departments at Heritage, including Natural History, who has some of the coolest items that Heritage offers.
Absolutely.
There's a million-year-old cave bear skeleton in the lobby right now.
I saw that. Yeah. You want to talk unique?
So we've got that coming up. Take a look.
They didn't get along, explained fellow pinstriped Hall of Famer Tony Lazzari. Lou thought Ruth was a big mouth, and Ruth thought Gehrig was cheap. They were both right. Our Winter Platinum auction contains numerous items featuring the 2 legendary figures. This 1934 dual-signed baseball is the finest Ruth Gehrig ball in the hobby. This photo, signed by the Bambino and the Iron Horse, is the hobby's finest, and displays inscriptionless PSA Mint 9 autographs from both. Plus, collectors can win autographed Gehrig and Ruth cards from the iconic 1933 Gowdy set. Whatever Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig items your collection needs, you can find spectacular versions in our Winter Platinum Night auction, closing February 27th and 28th.
Hello, my name is Craig Kissick, and I'm the Director of Nature and Science for Heritage Auctions. And today I want to talk to you about an exquisite specimen in an upcoming auction. This is a beautiful ichthyosaur measuring about 11 feet on the fossil itself from the Holzmaden Lagerstadt in Germany, which is a classic locality known for producing prolific fossils of exceptional preservation. This is a beautiful museum quality piece. You can tell just by looking at it. It's in a beautiful piece of matrix with ammonites, which shared the ancient Jurassic Ocean with this big sea creature. Ichthyosaur was not technically a dinosaur because it didn't live on the earth, but it lived at the same time as the terrible lizards, and is certainly one of the most iconic marine reptiles of all time. This is an extremely well-preserved specimen, probably 80 to 90% original bone. It was prepared decades ago, so it has a little bit more of a rustic nature than the fossils we see today, but there's a lot of natural material here, and it's a wonderful specimen, perfect for any collection or institution. This and other wonderful specimens are going to be offered in our boutique Platinum Night Natural History Auction number 8036 on March 19th. You can visit www.ha.com/8036 to learn more about this beautiful specimen and the other offerings in the sale.
Tony, what do you know about prehistoric shark skeletons?
Not enough.
Yeah. Craig Kissick can tell you a thing or two. But we do have a spectacular specimen in the auction tonight. One of the greatest game used bats I've ever seen. You were talking about there's a little bidding war going on for it. I think there's some more fireworks to come. Got just over an hour to get bids in for session 1 before extended bidding begins. Session 2, you can bid all night long. We're going to talk about some of that stuff too. But this right here, 1912 Honus Wagner game used bat, PSA 10 and photo matched. Great quote from Honus himself. I don't make speeches. I just let my bat speak for me in the summertime. And this is it right here. No surviving Wagner bat speaks more loudly today than this example. It's one of only 6 in the PSA database, and it's the only example with a photo match. So beautiful piece, massive, massive bat, almost over 3 pounds and 35 inches. A perfect tool for an era of wide-handled grips and slap and sprint tactics. Tony, I don't think you used those tactics on the dyno, did you?
No. And he was the first guy to have from Louisville Slugger to have a signature model.
That's correct.
Yeah. So his bats are very, very, very significant.
So this is before that. Not uncommon in those days to tinker with locally made bats. So this one, the identity of the artisan is lost to history. The only markings on the bat being a PTS Wagner 1912 on the barrel and FMM BPTS on the barrel ends. It does have a letter of provenance, but what this has that others don't is an included photograph of Wagner in uniform with this bat. And the grain patterning in the image exactly matches this bat, just like a fingerprint. And the uniform that Wagner's wearing in that photo further helps the provenance, as the Pirates text that runs along the vertical length of the jersey's button path is a single season style sported only in 1912. So we know this bat was in his hands in 1912 thanks to that photo right there.
It's incredible.
Massive game use on it. Obviously, one of the most iconic pieces in the hobby and a sight to behold. But wait, Tony.
There's more. Oh.
This is a 1916-18 Babe Ruth game-used bat, PSA GU 9.5.
Wow.
Great history on this one. As you'll notice on the barrel, it's just the block Ruth. That is because it predates his deal with Hilliard and Bradbury, which happened in August of 1918. This is one of only 2 known block-lettered Ruth gamers, his earliest format. So, huge piece here. We've handled quite a few Ruth gamers in our time, but this is one of the most special ones right here. And great provenance on it as well. You know the backstory on this one, Tony?
No, tell me.
So, teetering on the age of 50, Ruth was in Philadelphia for a halftime performance for the opener for the Eagles. And he was hitting some baseballs at halftime.
Oh,
the fans,
my goodness.
hoping for him to hit a dinger. Just got a few to the outfield fence, but not beyond. But almost 50, and obviously in horrible health at the time. Still, warning track power from the Bambino.
Jesus.
So, in his Manhattan apartment, he kept a barrel of bats from his career, and he pulled this one out to use at that exhibition, likely because it was the thicker style bat from 1916, so it held up better than these later career bats.
Oh, wow.
So he pulled it out. After he couldn't hit a home run, he said, "Old Babe doesn't have it anymore." As he left the batter's box, he gave the bat to Connie Mack, who was there for the exhibition, of course. It was in Philadelphia, who gifted it to a good friend, a local police captain named John Guerra, who's the father of the Athletics ball boy, bat boy Frank, and he gave it to his son. His son cherished it for decades. And it was only in the late 90s that the significance of this bat came to light. So a great story behind it. He used it at the beginning of his career and then used it at an exhibition at the end of his life. And now it's going to join somebody's collection tonight.
Yeah, a lot of times, you are buying the piece. You are also buying the story.
Yes.
The whole history of it. And some of these pieces have great stories to them, and that is one of the best you're going to ever find on a Ruth bat. And that's great information for the hobby to know, too.
So we got the Wagner bat, the Ruth bat. But wait, Tony, there's more. This one is a 19... Oh, no, wait, you're up. Sorry.
Oh, what do we have?
I was about to step on your feet there, Tony. I won't do that.
Alex Rodriguez, 2004, his first Yankees walk-off home run game-used bat.
Wow.
Yeah, just an incredible bat. And A-Rod, for the longest time, his stuff was a little bit soft, but he is kind of coming back in good graces again. And this one here is at 3,200, and that just shows you that time heals a lot of the wounds. And he's
true,
one of the
Tony.
guys that, he was polarizing for when he played, but now, he is marrying J-Lo at some point, I think.
You didn't get your invite yet?
I didn't get it yet, no. I did see her at the National one year, and it was craziness. It was absolute bedlam. But A-Rod
there
is...
was this big crowd around you, and then she walked by, and she's like,
Yeah,
couldn't get anyone to look at her.
I've never seen something like that at a card show. I'd never seen an autograph guest like that. Was amazing.
I don't think anyone's seen anything like
that
at a card
really
show,
caused
very
quite the
likely.
stir. But this one here, game used 10, 3,200 right now. It's a fairly good number for an A-Rod bat. And, I don't know if he'll make the Hall of Fame, but he is kind of making a little bit of a comeback, I'd say, among collectors.
Being out there announcing, that certainly helped. Get to see a little bit of his personality. Yeah, very cool bat. But wait, Tony, there's more. This one is a 1926-27 Lou Gehrig game used and signed bat. PSA 10. It was 1 year ago today, almost, pretty close, that we sold a Gehrig game-used bat for $1.025 million. Remember that, Tony?
I do.
Big night. So this one is one of just a tiny handful of Gehrig gamers validated in autograph format, and this could very well be, and I'm going to say it is, the most researched and authenticated Gehrig autograph in the hobby. On this bat, from 1926 and 27. Good years to have a
Absolutely.
Gehrig gamer from? Yes. So, it has, for the autograph, an LOA from Steve Grad at Beckett, Kevin Keating at PSA, and James Spence. Three of the top guys right there. Plus, taking it a step further, the bat was subjected to scientific analysis by a laboratory called Microtrace. Tony, you know anything about Microtrace?
What do they do? Is it for dating it or what? What do they do?
Let me tell you.
Okay.
They undertook a microscopic review of the signature, finding ancient sandpaper grit where the bat's varnish was removed to provide the autograph with a more conductive surface, and assessing the ink as iron gall, the most common format utilized during the 1920s, they concluded, quote, "The results of these analyses do not raise any reason to doubt the age and authenticity of this 1926-27 era Lou Gehrig signature and bat." So that's
what
going
it's
a
coming
step
to
forward.
now.
Yeah.
That's where our industry is coming to.
I will say,
That's
for now,
interesting.
this is the only autograph that Microtrace has been used for, but maybe that's the next big thing. So science right there. But this is one of the most gorgeous pre-war game-used bats we've ever seen. fashioned from top-grade northern white ash by Joseph G. Krenz Bat Company in Syracuse, New York. Just a beautiful example. And, of course, I mean, a Gehrig gamer for many years, fantastic. 26, 27,
that's
hard to beat that.
right at the heart of his
pinnacle
career.
right there. So an outstanding piece, a lot of incredible game-used bats. You know, we're talking about the top-end bats, but we have some incredible game-used bats tonight and also tomorrow night closing if you're into gamers. Back to you, Tony.
Thurman Munson.
Oh, we're still talking Yankees, huh?
Yeah, sorry. sorry to anybody else. 1971, Thurman Munson game used flannel jersey. When he came in, they wore flannels. They switched in 72, so this probably became a little expendable. But there was a number change on the back, but we did photo match it to the 1972 spring training. So very cool. There's not a lot of Munson flannels out there. There are, of course, more knits. He wore from 72 to 79. He wore the knits. So not a lot of flannels. This one's gone up and has gone up quite a bit actually. 29,000 right now with a 30,000 estimate. And again, it is photo matched. So just a really, really cool early career Munson flannel jersey.
Outstanding. Any other good Yankee gamers in the auction? Tony?
Tons. We have a
Check
lot
your
here.
script.
Derek Jeter, game
There it
used.
is.
From his last walk-off victory, from his last home game versus the Red Sox. Of course, the Yankees and Red Sox, bitter rivals. And this one here is photo matched to, what date was that? No, that is... Oh, geez, sure. Now when I need it, I can't find it.
Tony, master of research here.
Yes, I'm slipping. But, last home game walk-off against the Red Sox, 11,500. A lot of people are looking to invest in Derek Jeter, especially now with him going into the Hall of Fame. And really cool from his last season.
And I will mention we have a really incredible trout bat that we're going to be talking about a little bit later by request, but it will be coming up. I promise you Tony's going to talk about that. So let's move on from Yankees a little bit, and let's go to what you could easily say is the most important day in baseball history right here. 1947 Brooklyn Dodgers opening day at Ebbets Field ticket stub. The debut of Jackie Robinson right here. No athlete in American sporting history is more important than the man who took the dangerous first step across baseball's shameful color line. And this is the ticket from that day right there. This ticket rode in the shirt pocket of a fan at Ebbets Field, the left field stands, April 15th, 1947. Can you imagine being there? I mean, just Ebbets Field in general, but huge moment in baseball history,
day.
Huge moment in sports history, huge moment in American history right here. Ticket collecting is a little niche of the hobby, but this is one of the crown jewels of any ticket collection, and this is something that could be in a Hall of Fame, a museum. It should be such a beautiful and important moment. He did go hitless, but he reached base in the 7th inning on a fielding error and was doubled home by Pete Reiser to score what would prove to be the game-winning run against Johnny Sane and the Boston Braves.
Wow.
A lot of history going on here. Important ticket, and I know that one's going to do fantastic. Those don't come up very often. Of course, very rare, but when they do, they go nuts.
56 minutes left until we hit
those bids in.
Yeah, get those bids in now because there's just a lot of action.
And speaking of action, here's that photo you were talking about. This is the 1947 Jackie Robinson original news photograph. It's PSA Type 1. Anyone in the hobby, but especially card collectors, is going to instantly recognize that image. It was used to create his 1948 Leaf rookie card. This is one of the most important photos in the hobby right here.
One of only 2 known, I believe, right?
That is correct. And one of the premier images of Jackie Robinson, of course. It's just a great image, as is. The paper caption that remains affixed to the back references the struggles Robinson faced that first season. Quote, Reported talk of a strike against Jackie Robinson of the Brooklyn Dodgers by the St. Louis Cardinals players was denied today by manager Eddie Dyer of the Cards. He said that if Brooklyn thinks he can be of value to the club, that certainly is all right with us. So that was a big deal back then. A lot of teams talking about striking. Also, that manager, Eddie Dyer, you know who gave him his start in the majors?
Branch Rickey.
Branch Rickey. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, a huge photo. That demographic of photos used for iconic cards is one that's really rising. We've talked about a few already tonight, and this is at the top, got to be at the top of the heap of the most important right there. And speaking of the top of the heap, how about this? 1960s Jackie Robinson single-signed baseball. This is a PSA Mint 9, Tony. Stunningly pristine and unsurpassed in the history of PSA grading for Jackie Robinson singles. So if you're looking at for the best of the best of Jackie Robinson, this is it right here. 8 out of 10 for the autograph, a 9 out of 10 for the ball, and a half point added for the exceptional aesthetics. And he commonly personalized the small supply of single sign balls that are out there, but this one is free of any names but Jackie himself, who adds a best wishes notation, and best wishes to anyone who is bidding on that one, because that is an outstanding single right there. Tony, what do you got, buddy?
Charlie Gehringer game used jersey. Not a lot of jerseys from him. The Mechanical Man, Hall of Famer. And just a really tough flannel to find. And this one here in a Hall of Famer from the early 40s. In remarkable condition, and right now it's at $11,010. It's got the year embroidered on the front, and then it is also autographed by Gehringer. The front and back both original with the team name and the number. Just an incredible artifact from Charlie Gehringer. Really cool piece.
I like that nickname too.
Yeah. And the next one here is just an incredible, is doing just an incredible number of Johnny Bench photo match to a World Series game from 1975. Of course, the key member from the Big Red Machine. This is at 23,000, and
whoa,
that is an incredible number. Now, the reason it is at that number is because it is photo matched. Of course, collectors pay much more for photo match material, and this one being photo matched to a World Series game. Just
hard to beat that.
It is. And I love how he signs it. Catch you later. He usually does. This one says the big red machine, but it's got a nice autograph on the front too.
All right, we're gonna take another short break. Tony, any bids coming in you want to talk about before we do?
There's
what score are you staring at?
There's a lot of bids. 1952 Topps Mantle VG3, 46,000. Miracle on Ice Stick, 57,000.
There we go.
I'm sorry, 60,000. Yeah, just a lot of. It's pretty hot and heavy right now as far as bids go, and this is the time where there's some very big decisions being made. Let me just put it that way.
Definitely. All right, so we're gonna take a break. We'll watch a little bit about some of the Kobe items we found from that treasure trove at his childhood home. Also, Tony, we have an entertainment department. Did you know that?
Yes, I do.
Well, you can find out a little bit about them as well, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
He was 13 years old when his father, Joe Jellybean Bryant, abandoned his second professional basketball career in the Italian League and flew the Bryant clan back to the States for good, settling into a charming two-story home in the suburbs of Philadelphia. As the young phenom became the first freshman in decades to start for the esteemed Lower Merion High School varsity team, he'd spend his evenings in the driveway of that home, launching thousands of shots at this hoop as it stood silent sentry between the double doors of the family garage. The new owners of Kobe's childhood home decided to part with this goal in 2020, making this a one-of-a-kind opportunity for one lucky Kobe collector to own one of the most unique items in the hobby. Our Platinum auction includes other offerings from the Black Mamba's youth, including his personal subscription copy of Sports Illustrated with his idol Michael Jordan on the cover, and the earliest known Kobe autograph. Find the perfect Kobe item for your collection in our Winter Platinum Auction, closing February 27th and 28th.
Hey everybody at Heritage, my name is Mike Sadler, head auctioneer here at Heritage Auctions, and I'm with Eric Grubbs, and we're standing here with this amazing Buddy Rich drum kit with ties to Johnny Carson. Eric, tell me a little bit about the kit.
This is a Ludwig drum set that was played on The Tonight Show in the late 70s and was later gifted to Johnny Carson. And if you've ever seen the 60 Minutes where he was talking with Mike Wallace, this is the drum kit, and it's the whole thing, including the hardware. So we have all the cymbals and drums, and we are super stoked to have this all set up. And Mike and I are drummers ourselves, and so we've had an immense joy in playing this here at Heritage Auctions.
I tell you what, to call myself a drummer after sitting at this kit, it's clearly an overstatement, but I still enjoy it. And I tell you, no matter who you like, no matter who your favorite drummer is, whether it be Taylor Hawkins or Carter Buford or even the late Neil Peart, I think we would all agree that Buddy Rich was at a level that was even beyond that. And all of those guys would love to have sat down with Buddy and watched him. And this is, in fact, the kit. Tell us a little bit about the condition about it.
The condition itself it's clearly been played on, but the heads are still very much intact. The original Ludwig Weathermaster heads are on all of the drums. And if you ever zoom in close if you watch it on YouTube of Buddy Rich playing it, you see the Ludwig logo on it. So that's a nice way of verifying its authenticity. So these are in fantastic shape, still a lot of bounce to them. All the cymbals are in very good condition as well. I should just mention this, the 10-inch splash does have some cracks around the bell, but it's still very much intact.
Yeah, I would say the drums sound great for the age, and of course they're really a part of music and entertainment history. And when do they come up for sale?
This is going on sale for auction on April 11th. It's a Sunday, and you can go on to ha.com/7249 for more information, bid, and track online. And I believe Mike is going to be auctioning this one off.
Yeah, so you'll see me later on. Obviously, I won't be behind these drums, but you can be behind them. You've got to have the winning bid, and we'll see you then. These are a wonderful drum kit. Good luck.
Is there anything Mike Sadler can't do, Tony?
Just ask him.
But I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Sorry. I love you, Mike. I'm sorry.
Eric definitely outshined him on that. But what drummers have sleeves on? I've never seen that
That's
before.
true.
Come on.
Very good point. That's a very good point.
Tony, should we talk about some football stuff?
Let's do it. We got a lot of incredible football items in this auction, and let's do it.
Including some spectacular rings, starting with this one. 2001 New England Patriots Super Bowl 36 ring right here. You might have heard of this guy. Tom Brady led the Patriots to their first title, and this was the reward right there. This one was presented to cornerback Ben Kelly, so a player example, and the first taste of glory for the Patriots franchise, and spared no expense here for the creation. Smothered in real diamonds that cover every square centimeter of it. I mean, when you win your first one, you got to go big. You don't know when
Yes.
you're going to get back. And who knew if the Patriots would ever win another Super Bowl after this one, if they'd ever go back to the big game. But a great one here, measures the size 9.5. If you're thinking about wearing it, what's your ring size, Tony?
11?
That's my ring size.
Is it? All right. All right.
So Kyler's going to be a bidder on this one. You can just tell everyone you were on the 01 Patriots team.
Yeah.
You were the. Oh, you couldn't be the kicker, I suppose. You were the punter. You were the punter.
Nobody knows who the punter is.
You were the punter.
Another great one here, and one that's more popular in our home office here in Dallas, Texas. It's a 1995 Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl 30 championship ring. Also a player ring awarded to wide receiver Corey Fleming. This was the dynasty one, Tony. 3 and 4 years right there. Jerry Jones, well known for sparing no expense, except when he's signing a quarterback. Currently, still waiting on that Dak deal. Just going to throw that out.
Is that going to happen?
Jerry's a big fan. I know he's watching.
I'm
so
sure
Jerry,
he is.
Jerry, get it done. We're waiting. This is the last taste of glory we've had right here.
It's been a little bit of a
beautiful example, but now it's, I guess you could say it's vintage, unfortunately. The last Cowboys Super Bowl ring. Beautiful example here. Testament to the 5 Super Bowls on one of the shanks. So, love to see it. Would love to see another one. Jerry, let's get the deal done. Just gonna keep throwing that out.
Reggie Jackson just got bid up to $450,000 for that Gem Mint 10 from the Dimitri Young collection. Went up $70,000 in a matter of 7 minutes. 7 minutes. We've got 45 minutes to get your initial bids in, and some very spirited bidding. The Wayne Gretzky jersey has met the reserve, so that just got hit. 520,000 right now.
You've been working on that? I like that.
Yeah, a little behind the scenes here. Just some incredible stuff coming in here right now. A lot of bids, and
if anybody has any comments, questions, something you're wondering about, it's getting down. We got to get your bids in, so let us know.
And we'd be more than happy to help you out.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more old football item we're going to do right here. One of the oldest, it has to be the oldest football item we have in the auction. This is 1881 Yale Bulldogs versus Michigan Wolverines program. Somewhere Paul Mitchell perked up at the mention of the Michigan Wolverines there. This one's 140 years old, Tony. That is old right there. Back to the days of top hats, parasols, penny farthings, high-wheeled bicycles. Tony, I'd love to see you on a high-wheeled bicycle.
Oh, my goodness.
But this was for the November 2nd, 1881 Michigan versus Yale game. 2 of the standout programs of the day. But unbelievable. I love these old programs. I love the graphics. Yale won the contest 2-0, and they would be 5-0-1 on the season. Guess how many points they allowed all season, Tony?
How many points?
0.
Really?
For the whole season. They would retroactively be named national champions.
Wow.
Yeah, so a very cool program. If you're looking for something that is just ancient, other than me and Tony, this applies right here. This is a piece of football history, college football history, back when those egghead Ivy Leaguers were at the top of the charts as far as college football goes.
Absolutely. Yes. No, back then college football was much more popular than the NFL, and even college fought the NFL a little bit, and football was kind of a mom and pop organization, or a mom and pop league, and then it just transformed itself with Red Grange and everybody in the 20s and 30s.
Galloping Ghosts.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really gone crazy as far as popularity goes.
What do you want to talk about? You're a football guy.
Yeah, this is previously unknown, or it's a new discovery. This was found at a antique mall, I believe. 1924.
Oh, another
Packers.
discovery.
Another discovery. Stuff is still out there. Everybody says, "Oh, there's nothing. You can't find anything." Stuff is still being unearthed. This year, 1924 Packers versus the Packers versus the Milwaukee Badgers, ticket stub and program. Very difficult to find these things. Bellevue Park.
Look at the condition.
It was right across from my grandpa and grandma's house. We used to go. We used to go on the swing set at Bellevue Park. Yes. So that's where this game took place. Ticket cost $1.50 with the program. This thing was just discovered recently, and it's incredibly difficult to find 20s football memorabilia. There's just not a lot of it out there. So here's one of the earliest Packer tickets to ever appear in auction. Estimates $10,000. It's at $15,000 right now. So it has gone past that number. A lot of bids coming in here. Rod Carew, Gem Mint 10, $130,000.
Wow.
It's just incredible. What do we have next here? We've got the 19. Wait, what is?
Oh,
the George Hurley. This is one of the surprises in this auction. It's at $90,000 right now. Had a $30,000 estimate, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful jersey, in incredible condition. And when you're talking probably the only existing jersey from an organization, the earliest known, first year, that's really, as we like to say, checks a lot of boxes.
Yes.
And
the backstory, where was this discovered, Tony?
was it in Sheboygan? Where was it?
It was a thrift store, correct?
Another one? Oh, my Lord.
I believe it was this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there it is.
So, yeah, I mean...
So this was a $5 purchase, $5 to $10 purchase there? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
so
just
good investment.
Incredible,
Good
some
investment,
of the stuff that...
I'd say. Get out to those thrift stores. You can.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to find. Mickey Mantle, PSA 8, 662,500 right now.
That's got legs. It's gonna keep
It does.
going.
It does. Yeah. I'm sorry, 687,500. My bad. Just went up again.
It's people laying in the weeds, just
Yeah,
waiting for
yeah,
extended bidding to
yeah.
begin on that one.
Yeah, this is just incredible. The amount of bids coming in at this
Tony
point.
can barely keep up over there.
39 minutes is the unofficial count.
I have a question about that Redskins jersey.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's hear it.
So since you said it was bought for like $5 or $10, would it be better, if you ever find something like that at a good deal, would it be better to just hold on to that for even a longer time? Or
I mean, the best thing to do is consign it to Heritage Sports, if that's what you're asking. But yeah, I mean, things like that are definitely going to appreciate in value, but you could always lose it. It could always get damaged. If you find something valuable, of course, at Heritage, we give out free appraisals on anything. Give us a call. We'll let you know what you have. If you want to sit on it, you just want to know for insurance purposes. If you want to know, should I hang it up or wear it or put it in my vault, we'll let you know. And then, of course, if you want to sell it, we're the best place to do that.
And a lot of times when you've got like a one-of-one piece, when there's nothing to really compare it to, it's hard to put a number on it.
Yeah.
And that's why, like on something like this, we did a conservative estimate of 30,000 or 20,000, and it's it's 3 times that now. So when you're talking one-of-one, when there's no sample size, some of the times that stuff goes for crazy numbers because nobody else has it.
That consigner is going to be able to go crazy next time
Yes.
we go to the thrift shop.
He's gonna
They
pop
buy
a
the
bottle
whole
of champagne
thing.
tonight.
Yeah,
Wow.
How come you haven't talked about any Packers items tonight?
Who?
Tony? What's going on?
The Packers.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, this is one of my favorites because I remember the day this happened. Reggie White, game used, 1993 helmet from his first year in Green Bay. He kind of changed the landscape of the NFL when he signed in Green Bay. People thought free agency was going to kill the Packers, but they went out and signed Reggie White, and he paid immediate dividends. This is actually photo matched to the Lambeau Leap game, which was
First
the day after
Lambeau Leap.
Christmas. Yes, he took a fumble, running. He was getting tackled outside. I mean, he was getting pushed out of bounds, laterals it to Leroy Butler, who takes it in for a touchdown, jumps in the stands, and the Lambeau Leap was born.
Leroy Butler had a nose for the ball.
He
Plays
did.
like
He
that.
will be a Hall of Famer at some point. You have to wait for certain guys to get in. He has waited. This is at 15,500. Just an incredible piece of Packer history. And helmets, they use these things for a year, sometimes even more. They recondition them and use them for years on end. So, just a remarkable helmet from Reggie White, the guy who really helped change that franchise.
And another legendary person at that game,
Chris
Narrett was at that game.
Absolutely.
If you want to see how tough Chris Narrett is, look up the temperature at that game. That'll tell you all you need to know.
He will be here Monday, folks.
No, looking forward to it.
512,500 right now for the Reggie Jackson Gem Mint 10.
Wow. That's got to be a record for a Reggie
Yeah.
Jackson card.
Yeah, that has to be.
Speaking of game used, how about some game used baseballs, Tony? This one, 1928, Babe Ruth signed first home run baseball of the season.
From 28?
28.
Wow.
Yes. So when Babe Ruth stepped to the plate at Fenway Park on April 19th, 1928, he was quite literally at the summit of his enormous fame. The season had begun only a few days earlier, and he was at Fenway, even more delicious. And he sent this one into the left field seats, just crushed it. And a fan caught it after the game, wisely found Ruth outside the stadium and got him to sign it. And the side panel inscription in the same ancient ink as Ruth's signature in the lucky fan's hand reads, April 19th, 1928, Yankees versus Red Sox. Babe Ruth's first home run of the season of 1928. Launched this ball into the bleachers in Fenway Park, recovered by George. So shout out to George.
George was a smart young man.
Also, what's cool about this ball? There's another signature on it, which usually with Ruth, you want it to be
Just
single.
him.
But this one is Leo DeRocher. In one of the first 10 games of his professional career is on this ball. And, of course, Cooperstown roommate with Babe Ruth right there. So only a handful of verified Ruth home run balls are in the marketplace. And this is a fantastic one from the top of his career. And
Reggie Jackson, 537,500 right now.
it's going to keep going. I'm telling you.
200,000 estimate.
Bad estimate there. Whoever did that.
We like that. We like that. We like to start it low.
And we don't just have a Ruth game used home run ball. We've also got a Gehrig. This one's from 1931. It's the 37th of the season and 224th of his career. So a beautiful opportunity right here if you're into game used baseballs, home run baseballs, Ruth and Gehrig. A tremendous offering right here. Gehrig signed this one as well. And it has a vintage inscription which reads, New York 14, Red Sox 4, 37th home run, scoring Babe Ruth, Sunday, August 30th, 1931. Love those fans that are catching the balls and getting the players to sign it right after.
Yep.
All right, Tony, back up. Some more football. Let's do it.
Couple bids. 240,000 right now for the 86-87 Fleer unopened box as issued by Fleer. Jet Terry, 38,000 for his championship ring.
2011 Mavericks.
2011
right there.
Mavericks, yes. So a lot of bids coming in at this moment. 23,000 for Dave Winfield, Gem Mint 10. So
Wow.
some incredible cards, and of course the prices are really, really up. And we are going to start off with Aaron Rodgers, MVP, three-time MVP, 25,000, which is an outstanding number, with the team letter, and it was photo matched to October 24th of 2010. That's the Super Bowl season, of course. And, Rodgers stuff has appreciated quite a bit. There's not a lot of uniforms. He is still playing well, and now he is engaged. So watch out, world now. Hopefully he'll win a couple Super Bowls to end his career. But, there were some questions this year about what's going to happen with Rodgers as he's on his way out. Wins an MVP and had him at the doorstep of going to the Super Bowl, but they couldn't quite beat Tom Brady, which is...
Didn't expect to ever see him on that side of the playoffs, and then bam, this year, there he is.
Yep. And another great NFL jersey we have in this auction, Rob Gronkowski, game-worn, another photo match jersey with a team letter. His stuff has always done well, but not 13,000 level well, which is a great number. And with him winning another Super Bowl, and of course he's going to go in the Hall of Fame, but he's kind of considered one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
Yeah.
And he's an instant matchup problem for every team because he's so big, and he's almost unstoppable. And so that's probably the highest I've ever seen a Rob Gronkowski game-worn jersey go
I'd
for.
love to see Gronk and Geezy hang out.
Oh my God!
That even
Could you
seems like it
imagine
would be
that?
a good reality
Lordy!
show.
I don't know if the world would be ready for that one, Mike.
Chris Burton watching and says hello. Hello, Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt, Tony.
Josh, I'm sorry. There's so many bids coming in. I hit refresh on that bid board, and my eyes are going. They just get bigger and bigger and bigger because these numbers are just amazing. We've talked about this guy before. This could be the next big thing in the NFL. Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. He got him back to the playoffs. They won a playoff game. Made it to the they made it to the end of the AFC at least, and they're doing nothing but getting better. And the quarterback position, of course, in the NFL is the money position. And here's a photo matched to October 6th of 2019 with the captaincy and the NFL 100-year shield on it. and right now that's at $13,500. So a lot of love for the Bills.
Classic look too.
Yeah, they have beautiful, beautiful design, beautiful colors, and again, photo matched. He threw for a couple touchdowns that game and a win. And the Bills right now are going to be one of the teams in the AFC that's kind of built to last. So
you heard it here first. From
you
Tony.
heard it here. They're back. They're back to the '90s, to the early '90s when they were so fun to watch.
Tony, I want to hear you talk about another NFL jersey.
Drew Brees game-worn jersey. Now, the thing I love about this, now you've got the captaincy, but you've got the Man of the Year, that rubber Man of the Year patch on the front. Only guys, of course, that win the NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year award are allowed to have this. And I think J.J. Watt's one of them. I know Peyton Manning was, I believe, too. But Drew Brees, is he going to come back or not? There's been some rumblings now that he might. He's working out.
He's coming back.
I would love to see him come back. I mean, he's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of player. He's going to, as far as Saints go, he's going to be the top. He's their signature star, the franchise's signature star. Got him a Super Bowl, 18,500. Some really solid numbers on the football memorabilia tonight. And, there's still room left on some of these as well.
That one came in, that jersey, moments before we were finishing up the catalog.
It made the cut.
Got it in there because it's from his second to last game of this season. Mm-hmm. I'm correct? Yeah. Great piece there. I love this photo, Tony. This is from the John Ash collection as well. This is the 1910 New Orleans Pelicans. While we're talking New Orleans with the Drew Brees Saints jersey there. This is the Pelicans versus the Atlanta Crackers scorecard. You a fan of the Atlanta Crackers team?
Joe Jackson, baby.
Yes. So this is Shoeless Joe Jackson's final minor league game. The scorecard from it. That is just huge. Anything Joe Jackson, of course, creates great interest among collectors. This is from the minor leagues. He's in the Southern League, of course. Should be no surprise, dead ball era material is very hard to come by, especially from the Southern Association where this was. You got the humidity in New Orleans playing a significant role in the declining population of paper artifacts, and this game was stopped in the 7th inning for rain. Wow. So surely a lot of the scorecards from that game were just destroyed.
They were just destroyed from
used
the
as
elements.
A cover from the elements, perhaps. But we can be certain that this dates to the final contest of Jackson's final minor league career, as the side opposite the unmarked batting lineups has a magnificent team photograph underscored by bold text reporting pennant winners 1910, assuring it could have been issued no earlier than then, as the Pelicans clinched the pennant the previous day. Jackson's third from the right in the front row in that. This is believed to be the only surviving example. Very likely.
Yeah, I mean, and Joe Jackson, we talk about guys transcending generations. Joe Jackson is such a big part of baseball's history, good and bad. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, but there's a lot of people. There's always interest in his stuff. He's just a guy that, I mean, his batting average, what is he, like 380, 390? He was just amazing. And
the only person to ever hit 400 his rookie season. That's not going to be broken.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I think he's safe on that.
So we talked about some rings earlier. This is one of my favorite rings in the auction. This is the Basketball Hall of Fame ring presented to Oscar Robertson, Tony, the Big O, with his letter of provenance right there. Iconic, important player. The Big O changed the game.
One of the greatest college players as well.
Oh, yeah.
One of the absolute greatest college players.
22,000 points, 7,700 plus assists as the Cincinnati Royals stand to this day as the record for the Royals-Kings franchise. MVP in 64, NBA champion in 71. You remember that one?
Yes. I was -5, but that being said, that's the only Bucks championship.
So this Hall of Fame class for the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame was the first class that they issued rings for. It also had Jerry Lucas and Jerry West in that class. Huge class right there. And as we said, it comes with a letter of provenance from Oscar Robertson himself.
Can't beat that. Can't beat the provenance on that.
Well, let's face it, people. You're probably not going to get in the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. You're not going to get one of those rings. So
We're not going to make it, are we, Mike?
You got to bid right now. I know I'm crushing dreams right there. And then here, we just talked about it, and a big bid just came in for it. Near and dear to our hearts here in our Dallas, Texas home office. This is a 2011 Dallas Mavericks NBA championship ring right here. The only one they ever won. And, of course, this one's from Jason Terry, who was brilliant in the series. He was replacing Steve Nash, very popular player, but filled in perfectly. And another example of a team winning their first title and just going nuts with the ring, because that's what Cuban did here. The team logo is constructed of real diamonds with sapphires on the ring face, more diamonds on the perimeter, over 130 brilliant round-cut diamonds with a total weight of about 10 carats. That's a big ring.
It's a beautiful ring, too.
It is.
It's just a stunning ring.
It's got a lot of bling on it, but still is just a aesthetically pleasing one.
It's not overboard. Some of them are just so overboard that, but that looks classy.
Tony, you got any rings you like in the auction?
There's a Packer ring I love, but
I think we're
Craig
about to
Hodges, of course, Jordan, Pippen, Horace Grant, they were the big stars of the team. But role players are the guys that really help win these titles. And one of the big role players on the Bulls' first championship, Craig Hodges, a great sharpshooter, great three-point guy. He won 2 3-point contests?
3.
He won 3.
Him and Larry Bird are the only people to win 3 3-point contests.
It's so rare to get a player. Most of the time when we get these rings, it's executives, that kind of thing. But to get a player ring of a guy like Hodges is a big deal. And this thing I think it's right around $100,000 right now.
From the first dance, right?
From the first dance, yes, yeah. But let me just check and see what that one. Yeah, it's at $90,000 right now. So $80,000 estimate. Just a really cool ring from their first title, and from a very good player. What a decent career too.
We're going to take another quick break, come back and talk about a few more things in session 1. Then we're going to get into the session 2, because how much time do we have till
we have 37 after, so we have 23 minutes to get your initial bids in. But this is going to be a fun one, because this is just going to the overtime session. Usually overtime sessions don't last terribly long. This one I think is going to
start brewing the coffee. But
that's fine by me. $600,000 on Reggie Jackson.
We talked about some of the photos that were used to make iconic cards that we have in the auction. So take a look at those, and we'll be right back.
Dating all the way back to Carl Horner's studio work, photographs immortalized in trading card format carry elite standing amongst collectors. Our Winter Platinum auction not only features iconic cards from some of the most important names in sports history, but also the original photos used to create those legendary cards. This gorgeous portrait of a 25-year-old Babe Ruth in his first year with the Yankees was used for one of the rarest and most coveted Bambino trading cards ever produced, the 1933 R306 Buttercream. This photo from Jackie Robinson's historic 1947 season, where he broke Major League Baseball's color barrier, was selected as the image to be used for the future Hall of Famer's 1948 Leaf rookie card. Following close on its heels is this 1948 Robinson photo used by the good folks at Bowman for their 1949 issue. Any serious post-war collector will instantly recognize this image as the one that appears on Willie Mays' card from the vaunted 1952 Topps Baseball issue, one of the most important cards from one of the hobby's most important sets. Find the photographic inspiration for your favorite classic cards in our Winter Platinum Night auction.
Hello, my name is Craig Kissick, and I'm the Director of Nature and Science for Heritage Auctions. Behind me is an exquisite 10-foot fossil crocodile, which is one of many items in our upcoming boutique auction in March. This beautiful Steniosaurus crocodile, whose name is actually indicative of it being a lizard, it is in fact a crocodile. Based on the dentition, we can tell it probably had a pescatarian diet existing primarily on eating fish. This exquisite specimen has incredible restoration and is probably some 80% original bone material. It comes from Holzmaden in Germany, which is a famed Lagerstadt for producing incredible fossils of exquisite preservation level. This high quality piece is nearly complete. You can see it's got a beautiful skull, an incredible raised vertebral column, and even the appendages are in place. It's in a beautiful classic shale matrix, and although this was not a dinosaur, this was living in the shallow saltwater seas when the dinosaurs were roaming the earth. This is a beautiful museum quality Jurassic piece, and obviously striking in its size and its quality. This phenomenal specimen and many others are going to be in our Platinum Night Natural History Sale on March 19th. You can see all of the beautiful offerings by visiting www.ha.com/8036.
I love that natural history department. They have some crazy stuff. Tony, let's talk about that Packers ring while we're here.
Super Bowl 31, near and dear to me. My collection, I collect game-worn jerseys from Super Bowl 31, guys, and this is Lamont Hollenquist.
Oh,
Yes, it is his. He was a special teams player. Actually had a big block. And Desmond Howard's his return right now at $25,000. Beautiful ring. To guys my age, that's the team. Old
people, you mean?
To older people, that's the team because they hadn't won a Super Bowl in 29 years. And when I was a kid, I figured they'd never win a Super Bowl in my lifetime. And that is the one that they finally won a Super Bowl. And I think the whole city of Green Bay tried to go down to New Orleans. And Brett Favre grew up not that far from New Orleans. So it was quite the party I've always heard. I was in college. I wasn't 21 yet either, so I couldn't get into bars, so I didn't get to experience.
They cared about that in New Orleans back then?
What's that?
They cared about that?
I mean, like in Green Bay, so I wasn't able to partake in that. But, yeah, I mean, to a Packer fan, the Super Bowl 31 is just near and dear because that was the one that got them back on the NFL map again.
All right. Talk about a few more rookie cards. We got a few more things to talk about in session 1 because extended bidding is going to begin in 19 minutes.
18 minutes, Mike.
Sorry, Tony, that's why you do the time there. It's the 1973 Topps Mike Schmidt rookie PSA Gem Mint 10. Pop 6 of these. Not a molecule out of place on this glossy
molecule
card right
wow.
here. That's true.
That's
more
beautiful.
Science. See, we're bringing more science
I like
into
it.
the hobby right there.
You're teaching me, Mike. You're a teacher.
This is another one from the Dimitri Young collection. That's where it was originally from. And he was a Gem Mint 10 or nothing guy. And this is a great example of that. Another Gem Mint 10 rookie right here. 1979 Topps Ozzie Smith.
And that one just got hit. That one's like 100. That one's over 100,000 right now.
Wow. Whew. High-grade collectors are flipping for this Ozzie Smith.
They are. There's just not many of them out there.
Here.
115,000 just got hit.
Wow. Greatest defensive shortstop, certainly in the argument. 13-season reign with the Gold Glove. No slouch with the lumber either, Tony.
He had a couple home runs. He had a big home run in the 85 playoffs?
Yes.
I think against the Mets it was, I think, against.
Won the Silver Slugger in 87.
He did.
So,
I didn't know he won a
2,500 hits. Not bad. Everybody thinks he was just a glove.
Wow.
But he did not win Rookie of the Year that year. Do you know who won Rookie of the Year in 1978?
Dave Winfield?
Bob Horner.
Oh, yeah. He had a big slugger. He had 5 home runs in a game one time.
Ooh,
Bob Horner did. Absolutely.
Nicely done.
Yes.
Only 4 other examples out of over 9,000 submissions to PSA have gotten a 10. So that is an outstanding one.
We take a lot of calls on those. I've got the Ozzie Smith and the Ricky Henderson. I'm like, well, you do, but to get that grade, it's a little, it's pretty tough. Speaking of Dimitri Young collection, we have some great items from his collection. Here's a cool one, 1975 Topps Mini George Brett. $38,000. These were only issued like in the Midwest. I think in Michigan is where the majority of these things landed. And the minis always were a little harder to get and were a little more valuable. And this year, Gem Mint 10, George Brett, $38,000. Just beautiful eye appeal, great color.
Yeah,
it just screams 70s. I love that.
That's our era, Tony.
Yeah, that is. I was -1 then, but and another one, another tough issue, one you rarely find in the Gem Mint 10. Eddie Murray centering has always plagued this card. This one here is perfectly centered. 23,000 for Eddie Murray. Steady Eddie, 3,000 hits, 500 home runs. Quite an accomplished hitter, switch hitter as well, and one of the most steady, consistent hitters in baseball history.
That's a beautiful example.
It is. Yes, it is.
One of my favorite players right here. One of everybody's favorite
Yeah.
players. He's in everybody's top 10.
Big
probably.
fan. Big fan.
Speaking of the Rickey Henderson rookie, here it is. PSA Gem Mint 10. Greatest leadoff man in history. No doubt. No doubt. One of just 24 to garner a Gem Mint 10. Over 22,000 submissions. Wow. Really popular card. Really hard to get.
It's so
in high
difficult
grade.
on that. It's just so centering. Again, we've said it so many times, but centering on those is just incredibly hard.
And the price has been going through the roof for Henderson rookies in a 10. This one's at 110,000 right now. I will say we sold one for 60,000 last year. That was the world record price.
It was.
We were talking about it. It was crazy. And then a few months ago, somebody bought that one through our Moto program at ha.com. You can go to the archives and make an offer to the current owner of any item we've ever sold. And they made an offer of 100,000. We all went crazy. We're like, what is this person doing? They just need it. And then now they look like a genius because now they're all going to go over 100,000. This one's at 110, and it's going to keep going, I have no doubt.
A couple really, really major bids. The Joe Garagiola Honus Wagner card, 850,000. We mentioned the Ozzie Smith, and then the 86-87 Fleer basketball wax box, $250,000.
Wow, $250,000 right there, plus the juice.
Exactly. Unbelievable.
Tony, you want to talk about, I don't know, maybe an iconic hockey jersey? We haven't talked hockey
Yeah, this
yet.
one here, as far as hockey jerseys go, I don't think there's a more significant one than the Wayne Gretzky Photo Match rookie jersey. Photo match to over a dozen games, I believe, by My Gray. And this is actually from his first NHL home game and worn for probably half the season. Just tons of repairs on this. Great use. It's currently at 520,000. I'm just really excited to see where this is going to go because
he scored his first points in this jersey. Correct?
He did, yeah. If there's a more iconic
and he's
jersey,
the career leader in points. Correct. It all
Yes, he
started
is.
in
Yes,
this one right here.
It's hard to find Gretzky stuff. This is the best of the best, and just incredible provenance. Photo match. It's got all the bells and whistles, and I think this thing is going to go very high.
Yeah, I would agree. Sticking with hockey, this is the 85 O-Pee-Chee Mario Lemieux rookie PSA Gem Mint 10. Tony, did you know Lemieux translates from French to the best?
I didn't know.
How fitting is that? I did not know that until today. Nice little note. He lived up to the billing. 17 Hall of Fame seasons from Magnificent Mario here. And this is another card that has seen great gains, especially in a 10. And this is the Canadian version of his rookie. There's a Topps version as well, like with the Gretzky rookie. You know, the Canadian is the better version. He's Canadian himself, born in Montreal. And while the submitted populations of the two related brands are virtually identical, the O-Pee-Chee is over 50% more scarce in the Gem Mint 10. So this is the hard one right here.
Yeah, everybody wants that card, and I mean, from 1984, that card has it's just incredible, the gains on that card over the last 6 months. They've gone just through the roof.
And Tony, you've got my favorite hockey item in the auction right here. Maybe number 2. It's very close.
I'll tell you, this one has had a lot of action today.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of Miracle on Ice stuff. I don't think there's any auction firm that's had as much quality.
Sold Mike Eruzione's collection.
Mike Eruzione, Herb Brooks, and this is Mark Johnson's photo matched Miracle on Ice game use stick. Right now, I mean, this thing had a $50,000 estimate, and it's just continued to rise and rise and rise. $85,000 right now. If you have really quality hockey stuff, we're always looking. as evidenced by the Gretzky jersey at $520. This at $85,000. We get top prices on that really high-end hockey stuff. Hockey collectors, we've said it before, are the most passionate of all the memorabilia collectors. They a lot of times will pay up for items.
And he scored 2 goals in that game.
He
with
did.
That
He
stick.
did. And then again, when you can put photo matched next to an item, that is going to increase the collectability of it so much. And you can tell by the price on this one, $85,000. And we still have 11 minutes before people really start getting hot and heavy on the bidding. So stay tuned, everyone.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh, look at that.
Babe Ruth, $350,000 for the Sporting News card.
There we go. The rookie. Another iconic hockey card here. This is the 66 Topps Bobby Orr rookie. BVG Pristine 10. Tony. Only 2 like that. This is one right here. Boston Bruins caught wind of Orr's skills when he was 14, and as a rookie, they made him the highest paid player in the league. Good decision?
Great decision.
Great decision. He turned things around at Boston. It's unquestionably one of the most important and coveted post-war cards, rookie cards right here, and one of just 2 pristine, that full bleed color format there. Very difficult.
Very difficult to find. He was up at the Toronto Sports Expo signing that card, charging $700, and there was a line of people getting that card signed. He knows the value of his autograph,
He knows how to
especially
get
on
money.
that card.
Rookies, highest paid.
Yeah, exactly.
He's getting the bag, don't
Yep,
worry.
absolutely. Very smart man, by the way.
All right, if that Mark Johnson stick isn't my favorite hockey item, it's got to be this one. This is the 2930 Montreal Canadiens team-signed panoramic photo. Stanley Cup champions, and yes, it has Howie Morenz on it.
Wow.
Really tough autograph. No franchise has won the Cup more than Montreal, of course, 24 times. But they were the underdog in 1930 Stanley Cup finals. They were playing the Bruins. The Bruins had not lost consecutive games that season. Well, they'd fall to Montreal in Game 1 and Game 2 to break that streak. It was just best of 3 back then, so they won it. That prompted the change from best of 3 to best of 5 in the Stanley Cup right there. But it wasn't a fluke. They became one of the most dominant teams in hockey after that, winning 4 or 5 Stanley Cups between 28 and 32. So Hall of Fame talent all over this one. But yes, Howie Morenz, the brilliant and tragic hockey legend. Great autograph from him on here. One of the most famous hockey teams, a signed panoramic photo.
I love those panoramic photos. They display so well, and they're so hard to keep in good condition. And that one looks just fantastic.
And we can't talk hockey without talking about this right here. It's a 7980 Topps unopened wax box right here. Really moving up the charts, just like the 86 Fleer. While there's no precise data for wax box populations, Tony, there are over 300 Jordan rookies in a 10. The population of Gem Mint 10 Topps Gretzky rookies, do you know, Tony?
I'll say 4.
2.
That's it?
That's it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so...
There's only 2 Topps 10s?
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, so 2 OPC 10s and 2 Topps 10s for the Gretzky rookie, and we just sold one of those Topps 10s for $720,000 in December. Could be one inside here. Tough issue, but you never know. That's going to turn in a big number. What time we got, Tony?
We've got 7 minutes, and
let's just keep going. Let's keep going.
I'll tell you, we're going to be going for a while tonight, I have a feeling, because Jake Scott, Super Bowl 7 ring, 82,500. Michael Jordan, Starr sign cards, a lot of 10, 29,000. A lot of good numbers coming in. Satchel Paige, SGC 96, 28,000. Boy, this is a really impressive
All right, I got
auction.
2 more Session 1 items
Okay,
we got to
yep,
talk about. It's Mickey Mantle. I mean, so
Ooh.
right off the top, 52 Topps Mickey Mantle in a PSA near mint to mint 8. We handle a lot of 52 Topps Mantles, more than anyone else, I'd have to say.
All the way through, from 1s to, well,
To
we had a
9s,
9. We had a
yeah.
9 one time.
That's the 9 right up there.
Yeah, it's right over me
There
right
it
here.
is.
Good memories. So there's only 9 superior 52 Topps Mantles to this one right here. An outstanding example, the calling card of the hobby. But this next Mantle card kind of the opposite.
I'll
Almost
tell you, that
unknown.
card has just gone crazy. I never knew that it even existed. I'd
Yes.
never heard of this card before.
Who could believe there's a Mantle card out there? You work in the auction industry and you've never seen it before.
And you've never seen it, yeah.
This is the 61 Topps Dice Game Mickey Mantle. It's a PSA Pour 1. We're going to get to why it has that right there. But if you didn't know this existed, you are not alone. Many have called it the rarest of all Topps test issues. Only 17 from the entire issues have been sealed within a PSA slab, and just one featuring the Mick. This one that's going to find a new owner tonight. It's graded a 1 because there's small tack holes along the upper border. You can't even really see them in the imaging, but they are there. But since this set was never issued to the general public, it's likely that the tack holes were applied by top staffers as they worked on the ultimately abandoned project. So yes, it's graded a 1, but it's the only one out there, and the damage to it was done in the production by Topps.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Then on top of that, 1961, was that a big year for the Yankees and Mickey Mantle?
It was.
Yes, the home run chase, of course, and sweeping the Reds in the World Series, because that's what the Yankees do. This is 3 times as rare as a PSA Gem Mint 10 52 Topps Mantle.
Unbelievable.
How about that?
That is great.
That's the only one known right there, and somebody's going to win it tonight.
5 minutes left before overtime begins.
Yeah.
A lot of it's coming in
We
right
got
now.
bonus auction people tonight.
Yeah. This is going to be a record breaker, I think.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk about what's going on in extended bidding, and we're going to talk about some of the items that are in session 2. And, oh yes, it's time. We talked about Wagner items. We're going to have a little ode to Wagner. And then, Tony, you a Metallica fan?
I like Metallica, yeah.
You're not a Metallica fan if you say it
No,
like
I mean,
that.
they're good,
That
they're
is
good.
not how Metallica
No,
fans
I mean,
answer that question,
Kind of like
Tony.
AC/DC, but I mean, Metallica's good.
All right, well, we've got
That was my brother's first
Our
concert. with
entertainment
Metallica.
department has an incredible Metallica item. Please enjoy.
Hall of Fame manager John McGraw considered him the greatest ball player of all time, and Ty Cobb recalled him as the one man he couldn't intimidate. Honus Wagner resides in the upper echelon of Major League Baseball legends, and our Winter Platinum Night auction features 2 iconic items from the inaugural Class Hall of Famer. The first is the most iconic card in the hobby, the T206 Wagner. A relic so rare most collectors have never even seen one in person, and the winning bidder of this example will inherit possession from Joe Garagiola. The multi-talented Garagiola traded his 1954 game-worn uniform for the Wagner, and it has been in his family's possession until its appearance in our Winter Platinum Night auction. The second featured Wagner item is no less impressive, and was held in the hands of the Flying Dutchman when he went to work at the plate. There is no surviving Wagner game-used bat that speaks more loudly today than this one of only 6 in the PSA DNA database, and the only example bearing the ironclad provenance of a photo match. It's an absolutely massive war club, carrying more than 3 pounds of weight in its 35 inches of length. The perfect tool for an era of wide-handed grips and slap-and-sprint tactics. Find these 2 treasures and hundreds more in our Winter Platinum Night auction, closing February 27th and 28th.
Want to own the guitar played by Kirk Hammett in Metallica's One video? Here's your chance. The 400 series ESP guitar has a natural finish and is signed by Hammett with a silver felt tip. The Stratocaster-like guitar comes with a case and documentation from the early 1990s signed by Hammett, verifying its authenticity. Released in early 1989, Metallica's One video was the first video the metal band ever made. Having released 3 albums with no promotional videos accompanying them, having a 5-minute video edit of their 4th album's 3rd single was a major deal back then. Shot in black and white and splicing footage and audio from the 1971 film Johnny Got His Gun, The one video was a staple on MTV. It was an intense proclamation, and terrifying for this narrator at the time, that showed Metallica was going to be a band to reckon with in the mainstream in the years to come. Log on to HA.com to bid and track.
Now that's a cool Metallica item. That'll make you a Metallica fan.
Okay, I like
Tony,
them.
What do you got over there? Bids
Oh, we got some
coming in.
good
You got
bids.
1 minute.
1952 Topps Mantle. VG4 autograph 9 to $180,000.
Wow, for the signed 52 Topps Mantle.
33 Ruth Gowdy, 25,000. Giannis, 40,000 for the patch card. Gem Mint 10. Oh my goodness.
A lot happening. I might have to
There's-
loosen the tie a little bit.
Oh wow! Look at this guy.
It's not gonna happen. Not gonna
Okay,
happen.
we are at 10 o'clock right now, so now is when it's going to get really, really interesting. Michael Jordan signed cards, 31,000. Jason Terry ring, 42,000. 33 Gowdy Gehrig signed by Gehrig, 75 grand. So just
A lot happening. We're going to
lot
keep
of
you
bids.
apprised of everything that's coming in. And we've still got stuff for this auction in session 2, which is tomorrow. You can bid on that all night. And then extended bidding is at 10 p.m. Central Time tomorrow night. Tony, what do you got out of session 2?
Session 2, really cool piece. My good friend from back home consigned this thing, and he called me when he got it.
First of all, everyone from back home is your good friend.
Is a good friend,
So-
yes.
so-
I sound like Sid Hartman, my good friend. I think that's what he used to say. This was found at a local estate sale in the Milwaukee area. The guy called me about it, and he
How
asked
many
me what
things
I...
in this sale, consigned to the sale, were found at a garage sale or
A
an estate
lot,
sale
a
or
lot.
thrift
It's
store?
a very common theme
Out
with this.
there.
He calls me up, and I said, you know what you might want to do is look at a program from that season or the next year. And lo and behold, he bought the yearbook, the 1964 yearbook, which talks about the 63 season. And there is a photo of Hank Aaron receiving this exact trophy. And Eddie Matthews, I think, hit his 400th home run that year.
That's right.
He also got a trophy. And this thing has really climbed the ladder. It was about 2,500 earlier this week, 6,250 right now. Not a lot of Aaron personal items from his Milwaukee days. Of course, he gained a lot of popularity going to Atlanta when the team went to Atlanta, and then that's where he broke the record. But not a lot of cool items from the earlier half of his career. This is it. It's got some good action on it. But when you can have that photo match, when you have that quote style photo
Very
match,
cool for an award.
it
too, to
is,
have the
and it's
photo
very
match.
hard to do. And he got extremely lucky by finding it. That doesn't happen all the time. What do we got next?
This is a very
Oh.
cool item right here.
Yes,
Say,
I agree.
1954 Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe dual signed photo. Heard of them, Tony?
I've heard of
Marilyn
them
Monroe,
both.
Joe DiMaggio.
I've heard of them both.
So a similar dual signed photo sold for $89,000 in our October 2006 auction. God only knows what that would sell for right now. A gentleman in Japan contacted us shortly thereafter to tell us that a member of his family had served as a sports editor for the Tokyo newspaper, and he had a signed image from that same honeymoon trip
Oh my goodness.
to Japan. So Joe and Marilyn are wearing the same clothing from that photo in this photo. So that was
Oh.
that same night from their honeymoon. Here they're stepping off the elevator. Both the Yankee Clipper and his gorgeous new bride have autographed it. Both it's an 8/10 and a 9 out of 10. Very well known in the hobby that DiMaggio flatly refused
I
to
was just
sign
gonna say that,
any
too.
Marilyn
Yeah.
anything following her death. So anything with both of their autographs is incredibly rare. This is a great photo. You know, it was a short-lived marriage, tumultuous for sure. There was the 7-year itch photo shoot where he went off and all the press was there. So you might say this was the happiest moment of their marriage, their honeymoon right at the start. They're in love. And so a great moment and a great autograph piece from the first celebrity couple in American history.
And people tried to trick him into signing stuff of hers.
Did you ever do
people,
that, Tony?
No, I never got a chance to meet him. I wish I could have, but people tried to sneak items, try to cover up her, and have him just sign.
Right.
And he was a very private guy.
Yeah.
And, of course, we sold the checks from... He had flowers delivered at a gravesite for the rest of his life.
Yeah, weekly,
and
right?
we sold those checks, I remember. And there was always talk about them getting back together.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she passed away, so they never got a chance to rekindle it.
But yeah, very rare to find anything with both of their autographs on it.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking for a relic of rarity from DiMaggio and Monroe, there's the item for you right there.
Your Duke Schneider card that you brought up, $170,000 right now.
There we go. That's going to keep going, I think.
Jason Terry showing a lot of progress, $57,500 on
Jet.
the Gehrig signed contract, $120,000.
There we go.
A lot of six-figure items, almost more six-figure items than I can remember us having. Of course, people hold
Tony
on to
remembers
those.
everything.
Exactly. Yep. So just it's amazing, Mike.
All right, what do you want to talk about, Tony?
Okay, we got Michael Jordan oversized photograph, Type 1 from 1988. We've got some really good Michael Jordan oversized Type 1 photos in this auction, including one from his rookie year of 1984, which is at, I think it was like at $10,000 or $11,000 when we opened the show. Very, very popular, very hard to find oversized photographs, especially Type 1s. This is an outstanding photograph. This is a good investment piece right here.
We got a lot of great Jordan
We
photos.
do. We
in
have some of the
session
best
two.
I've ever seen.
So
And,
photo market's doing well. Jordan stuff's doing well. If you want to jump in, there's some really incredible Jordan images in session 2 that you should check out. And while we're talking basketball, I should probably go ahead and mention this 2009 Panini Classic Steph Curry autograph with a PSA 10 limited edition, number 2 of 499. So, I mean, 6-time All-Star, 2-time MVP, 3-time champ. Quite the resume. Great rookie auto here from Steph.
Yeah, I think his stuff at some point is going to go up even more.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
we've talked about it before tonight. He changed the game. He had literally changed the game, and he wasn't some big college superstar either. I mean, he went to Dayton. Davidson. I'm sorry, Dayton. Davidson, and
You're dating yourself.
He had to make it. He had to make a name for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, his dad played. Del Curry played in the NBA, but he wasn't. He had to make his own path. And,
Obviously not highly recruited after
not at
out of high
all.
school.
No. I think his stuff will actually go up a decent amount.
And I love this one too. A lot of potential from this guy. This is 2015 Panini National Treasures. Carl Anthony Towns, Special K. This is the patch auto PSA 10 with an autograph 10, limited 77 out of 99. This is the Pop 1, the PSA 10 right there from 2015-16 Rookie of the Year. 2-time All-Star, unlimited potential.
He can shoot to 3 for a 7-footer too.
Yeah, he can do a lot, and I think he's got a lot of promise in his career, so this is a great investment right now.
If they start winning, which I think they will, I mean, that his
Got
stuff.
a little squad going right there.
Yeah, they do. They have a couple pieces. They get a couple more. Watch out.
Yeah, and he's a special player, and
He
a
is.
great nickname for him. Great investment. A lot of basketball players, rookies, autos are taking off right now, and he's one that you haven't been priced out yet. You should go ahead and take a look at that one.
Very good.
Tony, you got a basketball item?
I do. I've got a Kevin Durant game used.
Okay.
Golden State Warriors jersey with a My Gray letter, and again the great term photo matched, and it's a great piece. 13,500. It comes with a My Gray letter being photo match, and they had a Nate Thurman patch, which they wore that season after he passed away.
That's right.
Durant, champion. He kind of shifts.
Scoring champ,
Yeah.
MVP.
He's done everything, and
College
he
Player
kind
of
of
the Year.
tilts the NBA world wherever he goes. Now he's in Brooklyn, and I think once that team is together, they're going to be awfully hard to beat.
Yeah, Kyrie's got the shoulder injury right now.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah,
I know
once-
Durant's been out with the protocol and everything like that, but
Who's going to shoot with those two guys out?
well, you got that other guy too. You got Harden now, but a good investment here as well. Durant is a generational player.
Surefire Hall of Famer,
Oh
no doubt.
my goodness, yeah, and 20,000 estimates. It's at 13.5 right now, but Hey, photo match, you can't go wrong on that one.
You know, while we're talking about Durant, how's Greg Oden's career going?
Oh, my goodness. Poor guy.
Sorry, Portland fans.
Poor guy. Oh, yeah, you had Sam Bowie, and then, oh, my goodness, Mike.
Tony, let's talk about some wax. And
there is some good wax there.
What better to start with? 86 Fleer wax box. What's it at right now, Tony?
It was at $230,000.
Yeah. So, obviously, a lot of people very interested in this. There's a lot of people breaking these open, if you can believe it. So, if you're the kind of person who likes to sit on wax, these are just getting more rare every day.
Yeah.
Tony, would you break one of these open?
No, not at. I mean, when they were at 60 and 80,000 is one thing. Now to be $250,000.
What if there's 4 Jordans in there?
Yeah, the centering. Well, now that's a 60,000 9 and 500,000 10. Yeah, I just love the way that it looks unopened. I'm sorry.
Very nice aesthetically looking box, and this box is in nice condition if you're someone that's going to hold on to it. Near mint to mint condition for the box right there. Now, this is one that is really becoming a great investment right now and moving up in price.
That has gone up a ton.
1980 Topps wax box. See what this one's at right now, Tony. The Magic Bird rookie, that's a card that is really paying some dividends right now. So a great box, whatever side of the fence you're on, as far as rip it or keep it.
55,000.
55,000 right there. So
wax has been strong for years too, and it just continues to go up.
And basketball wax especially is doing spectacular right now. And speaking of which, you got this next one right here. 03 Topps Chrome box. You know who's in there.
Yeah.
Chris Bosh. Yeah.
Darko Milicic, right?
Yeah, Darko Milicic. Also, LeBron is in there. I mean, you got Dwayne Wade in there, too. There's some valuable Dwayne Wade cards in there. Factory sealed by Topps. Obviously, a great investment. A lot of people breaking that one open, and I think whoever wins that one is probably going to bust it open, too, after they see what some of the 03 LeBrons do tonight.
Bob Gibson, 1959 Topps, Gem Mint 10. $230,000.
It should be. That's a fantastic
It is
card.
A cool card.
Pop one also, right?
That's a good question. Only one of only 3.
Okay. Fantastic card, though.
Yeah, it is. And that one just jumped up.
If you're looking for PSA 10 rookies, this is it.
This is your auction.
This is the auction.
Yeah.
Right
and
here.
the thing is, once this is done, you may not see these cards again for 10 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, these kind of things stay in collections. And my goodness, I mean, just fabulous cards here, though.
And you got any wax you want to talk about, Tony?
Any wax? Let me see what I've got. We
look
have.
of shock goes over his face.
Wait a second.
Maybe 97 Topps Chrome basketball?
The 97 Topps Chrome, yes. We've had a couple cases. We had 3 cases come in. We sold 2. Now this one here, you've got the Tim Duncan rookie. These have just shot way up. I think the first ones we had like a 10,000 estimate on it, and I think this was like a 30. Yeah, it's at 22,000. So it's gone. It's the Tim Duncan rookie, and his stuff, I think, is starting to go up a little bit, and I think it's going to continue to.
Best power forward ever? You going to say that?
Easily, yes.
Yeah.
And, he was kind of he wasn't a very strong personality.
Yeah.
I'll just put it that way.
The big fundamental.
Exactly. But this has been a tremendous investment piece right here. And you're seeing it with the 96, 97. You're going to start seeing it with the 97, 98.
Yeah, the cases aren't the most aesthetically pleasing.
I know.
Thing we
Yeah,
sell,
you're right.
A ton of value.
There's
in there.
there's just such a.
And a lot of options. If you got the case, you
can open
got
up
the
a
whole
couple.
case right there. Keep one. You can pop one open, see what's inside there. Let's keep going with wax. I love this one aesthetically. Speaking about it, that blazing green. This is the 75 Topps baseball cello box. 24 unopened packs in here. Got the George Brett rookie. Got the Robin Yount rookie. Jim Rice. Gary Carter. A lot of good rookies in this one. But also just a beautiful box.
It
as
is.
you can
it
see
is,
right
yeah.
there.
That set is
That
the
commands attention. Yes, and beautiful cards inside as well. And then this, one of the best looking boxes we have in the auction, I would say. The 59 Topps Football. This is the second series cello box. Love those classic vintage graphics on the box. This one's in excellent condition and a great set inside there. That vintage wax is doing remarkable as well.
It's so limited. There's just not much of it out there.
If you find it, sit on it. Do not open that up.
Yeah, I mean, it just continues to go up.
And then we got the 2000 Bowman Chrome football sealed box case. It's that, I mean, the 199th pick. Who cares about him, right?
He's not going to be around for very long.
Not going to be worth much. I wonder how many of those got thrown out, right when people opened them.
I always wondered how many times I was at a card shop, because I got back into collecting around that time, and how many times you've walked by one and didn't even think about it. I mean, of course, nobody would have ever known what it was gonna.
It's not like he set the world on fire at Michigan either.
No,
he was playing at a premier program, but I bet a lot of them went into the Atlantic like the 52 top afterwards.
Oh, I got Tom Brady.
Yeah, never heard of him.
Yeah, my good rookie card. I got Tom Brady.
Four string I see on there. And then this is some classic wax right here. 56 tops Davy Crockett orange cello box right here. 36 packs inside. Tony, in the 80s, it was Cabbage Patch. In the 60s, it was the Beatles. In the 50s, it was Davy Crockett. And this is the set that they produced, an 80-card gum series with scenes from the show. Great series. I know you're a fan of that series, Tony, right?
I remember watching Daniel Boone.
Okay,
because it would come on. It would come on it would be on at 5:30 in the morning. I'd get up for Saturday morning cartoons for 6.
5:30 in the morning
was on. I would see the end of it, so I'd always see when they would roll the credits.
Your mother is a saint.
Yes,
all I'm going to say about that.
But no, Honus Wagner, 887,500.
Over $1 million with the juice right there. Well over now, if my math is correct.
Very good math, Mike.
Thank you. I don't hear that very often. Well, let's take a quick break, and then we'll talk about some of the football gamers that are in session 2 and see what's going on with the bids. Tony's getting all eager over there.
I need some more Mountain Dew and beef jerky.
So take a look at some of we have a wide array of championship rings in this auction. A lot in session 2. Take a look.
It's the ultimate symbol of greatness and athletic achievement, a championship ring. Beyond the reach of mere mortals to earn one on the field of play, but our Winter Platinum Night auction offers you multiple opportunities to win a stunning symbol of sporting immortality. From the title ring won by Jake Scott, the Super Bowl MVP of the NFL's only perfect team, to the Bulls' first dance in 1991. From a nearly century-old relic of the Cardinals' first taste of championship success, to the ultimate prize for one of Hoop's greatest stars, Oscar Robertson's Pro Basketball Hall of Fame ring. Whatever sport, team, or athlete you covet, we have an offering of their championship success. All that's required of you, to bid in our Winter Platinum Night auction, closing February 27th and 28th.
A lot of bidding, heavy activity, just the number of 6-figure items right now Tony was commenting on. Tony, what do we got on the bid board right now?
It's the most 6-figure items I've seen in one of our auctions, and we've had a lot of major auctions. LeBron James sneaker, 75,000, the ones he wore from Kobe Bryant. Honus Wagner bat, 470,000. Rod Carew from Dimitri Young collection, 150,000.
Wow,
these numbers are incredible. 145,000 for the Ozzie Smith, the Jackie Robinson 47 original photo, 145,000.
There we go.
That is
I think
definitely
it's going to keep going too. That one.
That one might, yeah. I think I took that in with an 80,000 estimate.
So
the consignor was fine with it. He understood. He understood. I said, you gotta get it.
So we have an amazing collection of gamers, all sports, in session 2. Tony, why don't you highlight some of the football ones we've got in there?
We have some incredible football items. I think this is a very undervalued player, Merlin Olsen, one of the greatest defensive linemen in NFL history. This came from the John Kindler collection, which we sold probably about, 5-6 years ago now.
Yes.
Which was just an unbelievable game-used football collection. Had a lot of college, but also had a lot of great quality NFL game-worn jerseys. Merlin Olsen, like I said, he anchored one of the greatest defensive lines in NFL history with the Rams. And this one here, 1970-71 game-used jersey. Good wear on it. It's the blue version of their jersey. They only wore them 3 to 4 times per season. But a really cool gamer from one of the absolute finest players in NFL history. It's at $2,800 right now. It's an $8,000 estimate. But this one, I could see going up a lot tomorrow. $180,000 on the Jackie Robinson photo.
There we go. I told you.
You just told me that, too. Yes.
I tell you to listen to me, Tony. Just listen. I won't steer you wrong.
That's what my mom said, and that's what my wife tells me, too. How come I know? I don't know. I just can't do that.
Thank you for comparing me to your wife and your mother. Appreciate that. Means you got a special place in your house.
Oh, you're way up there.
Let's talk about Alex Karras.
Alex Karras finally got in the Hall of Fame. He went in last year. They didn't have the ceremony. Hall of Fame collectors are going to need to have his jersey now. This one is photo matched to September 27th of 1970. So excellent game-worn jersey. It's a Doreen, so it's the preferred style. And of now a Hall of Famer, and I love that name on the back. Just love the name on the back. Columbia Blue. And
nice.
There hasn't been a lot of successful Lions teams, but one of their
right there.
Yeah, it's been a little while for them.
Your Packers colors are showing through with that
Okay,
comment.
I'm sorry. Alex Karras, also Webster fame.
Yeah,
he
absolutely.
was. I remember him from Webster as a kid growing up. But
he also hosted Saturday Night Live one time. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
If you ever want to see the worst Saturday Night Live monologue of all time,
are you kidding me?
He had a lot of talents and he was very funny on Webster. This is just a horrible monologue. So there you go. If you're someone who likes like bad movies and things like that, check that monologue
I'll want to watch it after we're done here tonight.
It's only about a minute and a half. I think he realized it was going down and he's like, let's cut to commercial.
He made an executive decision.
He was a football player. I mean, that's what he was. So
Honus Wagner, $1,075,000 right now. A lot of bids coming in on that. The Jackie Robinson photo was at $260,000.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Oh, that would be one happy consigner. Oh, my goodness. That is incredible. So, yeah, a lot of bids coming in right now, and we're seeing record numbers across the board.
Tony, we've done great with Jerry Rice material of late.
Yes, we have.
You got any good Rice gamers?
1994 championship season. This one here, it's the throwback jersey. It's got I love these numbers on this jersey. The drop shadow tackle twill, photo match to December 17th. Right now, 12,500. We've had, and this one is unwashed. We've had a lot of really good Jerry Rice material come in, and this one here is one of the best of those jerseys that we have sold, and really nice staining on the back of it, and just a really cool piece from his last Super Bowl with the 49ers from 1994. So you got that nice 75th anniversary patch on there. So just a really, really good, really, really cool jersey.
You know what else is really cool, Tony?
What's that?
Pokemon.
I'll tell you, it's gaining a lot. It's gaining so much. We have one guy here that kind of runs that division, and I've told him so many times, I said, you got to really brand yourself as the Pokemon guy, and we're getting more and more inquiries about it. And Pete Calderon does a wonderful job of.
He can handle just about anything.
He can.
Pete Calderon can.
He's very talented.
So we have some
Tell me about this Pokemon.
Tell me about these Pokemon.
Yes.
Do you ever think you'd be saying that, Tony?
Which you speak of.
We have some great Pokemon items in this auction. We got the 1999 Pokemon First Edition Charizard Halo in a PSA Mint 9. I mean, if you're talking Charizard, he's the Ruth or Jordan of Pokemon right there.
I've heard that.
The final evolved form of Charmander. And as you said, it's always been popular. It's the most popular card game of all time. Mm-hmm. But as a collectible, it's really in a good spot. And this is a great example here. And if you just want to jump in feet first, got the 1999 Pokemon First Edition base set, the rare non-holographic graded set of 87. You say, hey, I don't want to buy it one card at a time. I don't want to go through eBay.
On everything.
Here you go. Get the set right here. Tony, you got anything on Pokemon, or are you going to move on to something
I don't
else?
have anything on Pokemon.
All right.
I'm not. It's not that I don't enjoy it. I just don't really fully understand it. And
Tony, you could say that about a lot of things.
yes. We're checking the bid board real quick here.
Yeah, please do.
85,000 for a 33 Gaudy with the autograph on it. Packers 1940s game used helmet, 28,000. 1.1 million on the Honus Wagner. $1,175,000.
Wow.
So incredible. Joe
No
Garagiola
surprise.
really did well on that
Great
trade
deal.
now.
That trade is just looking better and better
Yep.
with each
Oh
moment.
my goodness.
Somebody's sitting out there with the 1954 Joe Garagiola jersey, just
God, why did
fuming,
I do that?
Fuming. Hey, when there's a good trade, just like in sports, when there's a good trade, there's got to be the loser on the other end. But
This
I bet
guy,
they loved. I bet right after they were like, "Fool, you were wearing this jersey when you watched Willie Mays make the catch in the World Series from the bullpen. He's in the photo."
Oof, that's a tough one. So, we've mentioned before we have the Jake Scott collection, and this is, I think, the best item from his collection, of course, the 1972
Dolphins.
Dolphins, yes,
Yeah.
but
They've been kind of out of the mainstream in
it's
the
been
NFL
a while since we
of
said
late.
Super Bowl champions.
But,
his Super Bowl ring, I'm
Tua's
sorry.
turning it around.
Yeah,
He's been turning it
they
around.
are. They're making a move now, and it's a Super Bowl ring. Of course, he was the MVP of the Super Bowl, and just a really cool ring. It's not too gaudy, but he was the MVP of the game. So that one's at 82,500 right now. Easily one of the most significant Dolphin rings in existence, and there haven't been a lot of those to sell, the 72, and if you're going to have one, that's probably the one you would want from the MVP of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And up
Great
next-
collection in there. A bunch of stuff.
Yeah, there are some really, really cool pieces. Another really neat one, Everson Walls, Super Bowl 25 game worn and signed helmet with a letter from Everson Walls. One of the bigger upsets, I think, in Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
Very few people gave the Giants much of a chance. It was supposed to be the 49ers, and they went into Candlestick and won on the road in the championship game. And then in the Super Bowl, they stopped the unstoppable Buffalo Bills. And this is Everson Walls' game-used helmet. Outstanding use on this thing. And this is what he was wearing on the cover of Sports Illustrated, with that classic pose from when they upset the almost, I think everybody was kind of thinking the Bills were gonna run through them that game, and not
Cowboy
quite.
fans were hoping for that.
Yeah,
I'll say
yeah.
it on this.
I was cheering for. I was hoping that the Bills were going to win. I like they had so much offense on those teams. 105,000 on your Mark Johnson stick. So
There you
go. 6 figures.
That's an
155.
iconic piece right
It
there.
is.
That's a piece
It
of
is.
American history too.
Absolutely, yeah, it is.
That second goal he scored at the end of the period caused the Russian coach to pull the goalie, the greatest goalie alive at the time. He was just so upset, and that you could say that turned the tide of the game right there.
Yep. Yeah. Pretty spirited bidding.
I mean,
on
that backup goalie, you're backing up the greatest living goalie. You're not ready to go in.
Exactly.
He's
You
not
think,
getting
oh
pulled.
man, I can do
He
whatever I
thinks
want.
if he's
right now."
going in, they're going to be up 9-0 or something.
Yep,
If he
yep.
sees ice time, he could be half drunk and go in there. But then all of a sudden, it's a tied game against the U.S. team that they beat 9-2 or something in a preseason game or warm-up game at Madison Square Garden.
Up next.
You're just all over the Bills tonight.
Well, yeah, sorry about this, Bills fans, but game-used Thurman Thomas Super Bowl helmet, which is photo matched, 10,500. We've had some incredible some incredible Bills items from our fall auction, And this it takes a backseat to none of that stuff. Really good game use Thurman Thomas helmet. I haven't seen any other Thurman Thomas helmets that have ever surfaced, and it's got the Super Bowl sticker on the back bumper, which is really, really cool. So great use, photo match, all terms that collectors really love to hear. 10,500. Great item. Would look great on a mantle.
Yeah. We'll be going down tomorrow night. So we're talking
Yes,
about
that's tomorrow night.
In session 2. I'm going to bring it back to baseball here for a second. One of my favorite, quote, old-timey players, Cap Anson, right here. The baseball's first superstar right there, and he lived up to the title. This is a 1901 Cap Anson signed book. This is his ball player's career biography, and this is the first signed copy of this biography we've seen, and we've seen everything at Heritage. So, iconic player, of course, tough autograph, and he signed this just weeks into the 20th century. That's how old this autograph is here. Very nice autograph and in his own bio. So a great piece here and an excellent piece of baseball history. Now this next one I love.
You like the panoramics, don't you?
I do. I love the photography. This is the 1919 Chicago White Sox original news photograph. This is an Underwood and Underwood photo, type 1 here. This is the best White Sox team photo I've ever seen right here. You've got all 8 conspirators in it. You got the Bat Boys in this one. It's the whole team. Just a beautiful image and a great look. I mean, they were one of the best teams in the league right there. Obviously, they went to the World Series.
Was that
1919?
It's 19. Oh my goodness.
That's the team
yeah,
right
that's
there.
The one.
They're all in it, and they just have this look of confidence on them, really. It's a cool shot when you know what's about to happen to all these
Inevitable
guys.
doom is upon us.
I like that aspect of it, too. But you got the whole team. You got the Bat Boys. Just a very cool image.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and
Wow.
then this next one, we've talked about the Jackie Robinson photo used for his rookie card. What is that at right now, Tony?
What was that, 230,000?
230,000. So, might be a good time for you to take a look at this lot in session 2, which is a 1948 Jackie Robinson original photo. This was used to create his 49 Bowman card. So the next year, that's an iconic card as well. Another type 1, and you know, I love this image because this is the beginning of his second year. Unquestionably, he had the most difficult rookie season of any athlete in any sport in history. Unquestioned. And look at that smile on his face right there. Just a beautiful image. He's got his hands at the side so you can see the full Dodgers script there. So it has just the aesthetics of the whole thing. And then, of course, one of the most recognizable cards in the hobby was made from this image right here. You see that the photo for his rookie card is going for over $250,000.
$260 right now. I'm sorry.
$260. This one's at $18,000 right now. So yes, of course, it's not the photo for the rookie card, but that's how things work. You see that the photo for the rookie card is going nuts. This one's for the next year. Also iconic card and a beautiful image, a Type 1. Time to jump on that right now. Tony, what are you going to talk about, buddy?
Boy, there's a lot to talk about.
I know.
A lot of bids. Michael Jordan signed cards, $34,000. Jake Scott ring, $97,500. In the auction right now, $26 million it's at. That's better than what we did in November. So,
yes,
and
in
that was
November,
I think it was
we
like
beat
23.
the Halper auction, which was $22 million.
Now we're beating.
December was 23 and change, and we're already past that. This is just session 1.
That's
right
true.
now.
That's true.
And still things to go. We still got extended bidding. People are just getting warmed up right now.
Yes, they are. Really cool.
We made
piece.
a promise to talk about this.
The cool thing about this one is this came in very late in the consignment process. I remember this came in. This was like the last thing that we squeezed in. I remember talking to the consignor. I'm like, no, we can still get this in. Home run bat, Mike Trout. We've talked about Trout before. He's kind of this day and age's Mickey Mantle. He really is.
Yes.
Minus kind of some of the shenanigans.
The championships.
And the championships, yes. But one of the most popular players in baseball and a guy who's not slowing down in the least bit. Really good game used bat of Mike Trout from 2015. His 134th career home run, 36th home run of the season. PSA DNA game used 10. One of the absolute nicest bats. It's at 14,500, and it closes tomorrow. So I mean, this thing is probably going to go well over 20,000.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
great investment. Anything Trout.
yeah, Mike Trout is just, and if he does win anything, his stuff is going to go crazy. Really good game used jersey of Mike Trout as well here. This one is photo match of September 5th, 2013. Dirt stains on the front. Also, the pants show great wear. This one's at 14,000 right now, and again, it ends tomorrow night. And then another piece that will probably go for well over 20 grand. Trout stuff, great investment. It's a throwback jersey with MLB paperwork with it. So, again, it really checks all the boxes.
That's a great jersey. Got a lot of dirt on that one.
Absolutely.
Right,
really good use.
Like that.
And kind of an odd item, a pitcher's game used bat, Bob Gibson. Of course, he was one of the most intimidating pitchers in baseball history.
He's good with the lumber, too, though.
He did have to go and bat. Yes, as a National Leaguer, he did have to get in that batter's box. But, yeah, he was a pretty good hitter. 206 lifetime career hitter. 24 home runs, which is very good.
206 is good for a pitcher that was so intimidating that a ton of them were coming at his
Oh,
head.
they must have wanted to.
He had to step back a little. He's not crowding the plate after what he does on the mound.
Interesting thing on this, there's only 11 known game-used bats that have been certified by PSA DNA. So
For Gibson?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he had a pretty long career, and he was in the National League his entire career. But bats, back then, when they cracked them, they threw them away a lot of times. And this is only the second one that I've seen. Only the second Gibson bat. 2,600 right now. It's got a 6,000 estimate, but a lot of this stuff is going to shoot up quite a bit the last day of the auction. Wow, LeBron James game-worn sneakers from Kobe, 85,000.
Wow.
We are going to some estate sales tomorrow, by the way. We are going to some estate sales tomorrow. 525,000 for the Honus Wagner bat.
Yeah, we got to fill up that May auction. We better get to the estate sale and see what we can find in there.
We're going to be Chris Ivy. We're going to be taking off a week, going to every estate sale humanly possible.
Good reminder: we have showcase auctions now every month. So March, we finished taking in consignments, but that's going to launch March 4th. Runs for 2 weeks. But we've got an April showcase auction. We've got a May catalog auction. We're going to have an auction next month. Tremendous demand right now, so if you want to get your material in front of the best bidder base on the planet from a worldwide company, Heritage, please give us a call. Tony, how do they get in touch with you?
I've been telling people, we're getting so much quality in, to run the standard 4 auctions a year, it wasn't possible.
I know, we'd be having 10,000 lot
It would be, it's just unmanageable. But having the showcase auctions, the same premise of a catalog sale, it's just a little shorter.
Same audience.
Same audience, yeah. It's a great avenue to sell a lot of these high-end cards in, memorabilia as well, and we're really excited to have those sales because it makes it a little bit easier on all of us.
Indeed. And if we can make your life easier, Tony, that's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Right, that's what everybody's looking for.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants, right? Let's check the bid board right now. 33 Gowdy Ruth, 195,000.
It's a signed one.
Ozzie Smith, 165. Satchel Paige, SGC 9, 36,000. Yeah, the bids are really strong. Unbelievable. 30,000 for a Mantle game used cap, and the Cassius Clay Mint 9 at 125,000.
The Hemmett's Journal.
That one. Yeah, those have gone up considerably in the last year.
If you're going to buy a trading card that was made by a Swedish magazine, that's the one to buy.
Yes,
right
it
there.
is. Yes,
the Ali rookie card.
Wow.
How about we talk about
I'm stunned.
Jordan item. Why not? Some Jordan sneakers. These are tomorrow night. These are there we go. 1988 Michael Jordan Eastern Conference Semifinals, Game Worn Air Jordan 3. You know who he played in the semifinals that year?
What year is it?
88.
Semifinals? That would have been the Cavs.
The Pistons.
What was the Pistons then? Okay.
His biggest rival. If you watched The Last Dance, and we know you did,
Oh.
You know, that hatred is still simmering to this day. So a cool item, Jordan playing against his biggest playoff nemesis, the team he had to get past to get that first title. And these are consigned by a former Pistons ball boy. He couldn't remember what game he got them from, but don't worry, Jordan was the leading scorer in every game. So, whatever game it was, they were the leading scorer. And you know, a lot of these, the soles can wear away. These have been nicely restored, so they're in great condition now. They look fantastic. An iconic Air Jordan 3, one of the best models, one of the most popular models. And worn in the Eastern Conference playoffs by a young Jordan right there.
I mean, they had so many battles with those Pistons. You watch those games, and it was just incredible. I mean, they were literally just fighting each other, and yeah, I mean, Jordan had to earn his wings, and that he did along the way.
Up next, one of the new marketplaces,
cutting edge
in the industry. Yes. Proud to say we are the first auction house to offer an NBA Top Shot. Everybody's talking about NBA Top Shot in the last few weeks. We were talking about it months ago when we were putting this auction together. Consigner of this one reached out to us. One had never been offered at auction. Pranksy, who is a NFT god, I think it is safe to say at this point. He reached out. He wanted to offer it in an auction house. We were excited about the opportunity. Now we've got it in this auction. It's going to close tomorrow night. It's the 2020 Zion Williamson Rookie Debut Series 1, number 1 out of 192. This is a market that
it's
just exploding.
It's growing.
I can't even get packs anymore. The drops. When I first got into it, no problem. Get a pack every time they dropped. Now I'm number 77,000 waiting in line taking numbers. So it's time to jump in. If you're looking for the next big thing, this is the premier item of that next big thing right there. On the marketplace, you have to pay what they're asking, but this is an auction. So what do you think it's worth? You should go ahead and bid.
You know, you and I were talking about this before, and I like to look and see, like, what's the most viewed items in this auction. That was right at the top.
Yes.
So you can tell there are eyes on these things, and people are interested in them.
It was at one point, it's been at several points the most viewed.
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, it was right below the T206 Wagner and right above the 86 Fleer Jordan in a 10. Two of the most iconic cards in the hobby. This just started in October, and this is where it has come. And this is a premier one right here that, you know, it's a great opportunity for somebody to jump in and get it. Those people that are investors that are looking for what's next. You know, everybody now is saying, oh, I wish I'd invested in Bitcoin 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
Yep.
Well, that's where this is now. Time to jump in now because in 6 months, it's going to be too late.
LeBron James, 90,000.
There you go. I told
Honus
you.
Wagner, 537. Kobe Bryant, childhood hoop, 33,000.
That's a cool piece. That
It is a cool piece.
That's one of one right there.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is. And Honus Wagner, 1,275,000.
Nailed it. You could be an auctioneer.
Yeah, I know. They've asked me.
You know,
but
when
I'm
you're
like,
an auctioneer at
"Oh."
Heritage, you got to know how to do those increments over
Yes.
a million. It can be tricky sometimes.
What about cut bids?
You don't know anything about cut bids.
Sorry.
All right, Tony.
One of the most, we say aesthetically pleasing. We said it a couple times tonight. This one here is one of my favorites. Curly Neal, who passed away. Game used, 79 to 85. He was a wizard with the basketball in his hand, of course. And you've got the stars around the Harlem Globetrotters and two-color tackle twill. And then you got the beautiful name on back with stars on the back. This would look so good on a mannequin. It's a beautiful, beautiful jersey at 4,300 right now, and with a 6,000 estimate, so it is going to definitely go past the estimate.
That is great. We've had.
I love those.
We've been lucky enough to
love
offer
those
a
things.
lot of Globetrotter jerseys, but it never ceases to please me to see one come through the door.
It's just there's something about it. You know, I mean, we grew up watching the Globetrotters, and they'd be on ABC, Wide World of Sports, and there's just they're really cool.
I mean, the last time I saw them, I was 28. Loved it.
Did
I
you?
loved it.
Serious?
My friend went. They were in town. We're like, let's go check it out. And I mean, we were laughing. We were now could afford good seats.
Sure.
So you can actually be up there to see the pranks and everything. It's fantastic. Tony, we haven't talked golf yet tonight. What happened?
Very interesting golf items. $280,000 for the Robinson. Hank Aaron PSA 9, $537,500.
Wow. That is a monster price.
That is
right
some
now.
very serious bidding. Yeah, we've got some really, really cool golf pieces. Now that one,
I got this.
you've
one.
got that.
Don't
Okay,
you
because
worry.
I've got a couple coming up that I can't wait to talk.
This is the 1937 Masters 4th round Spectators badge. For golf fans, they know this is the year the Nelson Bridge earned its name. It wouldn't be officially named that till later. This is when it happened, when Nelson made up 6 strokes on Ralph Goodall over 2 holes on the final day to win by 2
Jesus,
shots.
that's impressive.
Yeah, he was impressive. So this is the badge from it. It's in nice condition. There's a horizontal center crease, which you can't see on the front. But a lot of people who collect golf, they love the badges. Of course, the Master badge is the pinnacle of that, in my opinion at least. And this is a very notable one. Byron Nelson bringing it home, come from behind, which does not happen very often and does not happen in the way he did it. And now, of course, we got to talk about this card, beauty. This is the 2001 SP Authentic Tiger Woods. PSA Gym Mint 9, autograph 10 right there. Of course, the modern cards are doing great. There isn't a lot of high-value golf cards out there, but this is one right here. Gym Mint 10 with the autograph 10. Of course, Tiger, the biggest name in golf now and moving forward. Doesn't matter. His material is good as gold, and this is his premier golf card right here. You got the Sports Illustrated for Kids Tiger Woods rookie.
That is yeah.
But, you know, with the autograph on it and the way autograph cards are in this market right now, that's a fantastic
And we've talked about Tiger a lot, and I've been telling guys, buy Tiger now. His stuff is primed to go up.
Yeah.
And he has one of the most beautiful signatures I've ever seen. And he takes his time. Even rushed signatures of his are absolutely beautiful.
And top-notch for golf, modern golf guys.
Absolutely.
For
A lot of
sure.
guys just get next. Tiger takes his time, and he has always had... I've never seen an ugly, rushed Tiger Woods signature in my life.
And, of course, he had the accident.
Get well.
You know, tragic. I mean, a miracle that he survived that. But, you know, a lot of people have been asking us on social, how does that affect his material? His material is good as gold. I mean, he's the Babe Ruth of, he's the Michael Jordan of golf.
He took golf to a different level altogether.
Yeah.
And, he made it more mainstream than it ever has been. Some pretty big bids, $1.3 million on the Honus Wagner, $600,000 on the game used
Is that
bat.
the one you're talking about? 1.3
Yes.
million? Right here in my hand?
My hand would not be able to hold it like that. I'd be a little nervous. Yes.
I could see him looking almost as old as the T26 Wagner in there.
Duke Schneider, $215,000.
I knew that was going to get to 250. I mean, that 49 issue is just so difficult to get anybody in a 10, but to have Snyder.
And they have the only one.
Yeah.
It is going to do a crazy.
It's the only one in PSA or SGC
Yeah.
since it's in a 10.
All right, a couple golf items, some really cool pieces in this sale. Up first, we've got an Arnold Palmer Canadian PGA Championship worn polo shirt with a letter of provenance from Palmer and a photo of him wearing the exact same shirt at the Canadian PGA Championship. $2,900
Photo
right
match on the golf shirt.
with a photo match, yes. I'm telling you right now, these are going to go way, way up. Palmer and Nicholas helped change the game and really were such popular, nice guys that not a lot of stuff of theirs that is sold. Hasn't been a lot of match worn stuff, and especially when you have a photograph of that, it's going to help it a great deal. It's at $2,900 right now. Let me see how many people are wanting this. 20 people are tracking it, so a lot of action. And then tomorrow night this will close and we'll find out. But this easily could be a 5-figure piece.
Do you have a photo match golf shirt in your collection? Now's the time
I
to
thought
get
you meant
in.
me. I'm
I
like,
know
no,
you
I don't really.
I mean, you wear golf shirts a lot.
I do.
so-
Oh my God, LeBron James sneakers, 130,000.
Did you guys hear that giddy little laugh from Tony right
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. 650 on the Honus Wagner bat. I'm sorry,
we go.
662 on the. A lot of stuff.
It's always a fun night on Platinum.
It is.
Both
Yeah.
nights of
We
closing
look
are
forward to
fantastic.
this. We look forward to this because, it's a special night, and we've kept it. We've tried to keep this auction smaller because to be in the Platinum night, it's a special deal. It's a big
Right.
thing. A lot of people hold out for Platinum night. They want their items to be presented in this beautiful book with the lenticular cover, and it's just phenomenal. And 26 million right now, and going up every
moment.
Every moment, 687,500 for the Honus Wagner bat. That one has really jumped up.
Yeah, I knew on that one. There's only 6 that PSA is authenticated. It's the only photo match. That one got a big flurry of bids right when we opened the auction and kind of sat there. I mean, people that are buying that, they're savvy, intelligent collectors.
Yep.
They're not going to drive the price up just so they can be the winning bidder, the leading bidder for 2 weeks while it's open. They're going to put their bids in and then wait till it gets down to business time, if you will, and extended bidding, and throw their bids down, and that's what you see happening right now.
Yeah. And and we've said it before. I mean, a lot of this stuff, you won't find it again.
Yes.
There's only
I mean,
a
that
few
Wagner
ones.
bat's going to disappear into somebody's collection.
Yep.
That's not
Yep.
coming up next year
No.
to be sold again.
But if the buyer wants to sell it again, we're here to help you out.
We'll definitely, we know how to handle it, obviously.
Yeah, I promise. Up next, circa 1980, Jack Nicklaus, match-worn and signed polo shirt with a letter of provenance from his wife, Barbara Nicklaus.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's got the Golden Bear logo on it.
Of course.
Really cool piece. The collector who got this wrote to athletes in the 70s and 80s and asked them for match-worn shirts. So we've had some in the past. We held off on these to have these in a Platinum Night sale because these are the 2 best ones, of course, Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer. But he was well ahead of his time.
Yes.
He was.
He's got the letters with them.
Yeah, he's
too,
got
right?
letters of provenance, and there was a Bob Hope one that we're selling, and just some entertainment. But Nicholas Palmer, there's not a lot of these out there, and I think we say investment piece. This is a great investment piece right here.
Definitely. And you mentioned entertainment. Often in these auctions, in all our auctions, we have some historical pieces and some entertainment pieces. This one up next is certainly entertaining. This is the 1953 Playboy magazine. This is the inaugural issue, signed by Hugh Hefner. The personal copy owned by the 2011 Playmate of the Year. You know who the 2011 Playmate of the Year was?
Oh, no, I don't remember it. All I know is she was dating Hef's son, and he...
Claire Sinclair.
Yes.
Is her name, yeah. But you knew a lot about her. I wonder if Susie knows that.
No. The only reason I know about it is because the consignor called me up and told me this.
Okay.
And there's photos of her and Hefner, and it was her personal copy. She might have gotten it from Hefner, but we weren't 100%. We tried to track her down, but we were not successful. But
As
really
with many
cool.
Playmates were not successful
Yes.
in tracking them down, is what Tony's saying there.
Yes.
So this is the issue that started the empire right here. Of course, Marilyn Monroe is on the cover. She appeared nude inside. The images were taken years before this debuted when she was cash-strapped and needed the money. And then all of a sudden she's famous and boom, I'll throw this on the cover and
Sure.
throw this inside. And then you got a 9 out of 10 autograph from Hefner right there. I mean, an American icon. Whatever you think about his product, certainly a legend.
He changed the game.
Changed the game.
He changed the game.
So that's a cool piece. And then I've also got a Beatles item in there. Tony, did you see this one?
I did, yes.
Very cool piece. I think Lee Iskowitz brought this one in. This is a 1972 John Lennon and Yoko Ono signed photograph to a famed New York City journalist. But a great image, a performance image right here of the two. And signed by them both. Obviously, Lennon's autograph, incredibly valuable. Tough to get stuff signed by them both as well. And it's inscribed by the former Beatle to Pete Machine Gun Hamill, which is what he put on there. Nickname, a playful joke from Lennon referring to the famed journalist's role in tackling Sirhan moments before he assassinated Robert Kennedy. So a lot of history going on with this. He put the nickname on there. It's signed along the top border right there. Beatles material doing great. I mean, Beatles material always does great, but it's in a really fantastic trend up right now, especially Lennon stuff. And Lennon and Oko together in a cool image right there.
Yeah, I
Session
mean,
2
Beatles stuff
tomorrow night.
is incredibly hard to find. McCartney doesn't really sign much anymore, and if you do get lucky enough to get him,
He doesn't
you get
need
Paul.
to do autograph shows.
He doesn't do, no. All you get's Paul. And Ringo stopped signing a long, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He used to sign through the mail, but he stopped signing. So getting to those guys is incredibly difficult. McCartney, when you could get him, you'd have to go to the airport. You'd have to get the right airport. You'd have to answer security questions from a security guy.
Sounds like you've done this before.
No, I have friends that have, and I just
Staked out Sir Paul's itinerary.
I've never stalked Sir Paul McCartney. I know guys who have, though.
Just guys from the Packers Super Bowl in '96.
Yes, Super Bowl 31.
All right, Tony, couple more items.
Maurice Lucas, 45,000. Bob Gibson, rookie, 270,000. I think we did talk about Wagner at 750,000 right now.
Wow.
So we like to say the power of the Platinum Night sale
Absolutely.
is really showing.
Good
showing
time to
everybody.
say, if you want your material presented the way only Heritage can, please reach out to us. Tony, how do they email you?
TonyG@ha.com.
I'm Mike P@ha.com, or you can direct message us at any of our social platforms.
We'd be more than happy to help you out.
And, we talked about all these things that were found at garage sales and yard sales and thrift stores and are now selling for 5 figures or more.
Yep.
So we do free appraisals on anything. So you're out there, you want to find out what something's worth, we'll let you know. And if you want to sell it, of course, we're the best place to do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know
Tony,
what else I can add.
You got any more items?
Yeah, I've got a couple more items, and just with the recent passing of Leon Spinks, I saw Leon Spinks in Chicago. Got a photo taken with him, Michael, and Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker.
Yes.
Pernell Whitaker, who passed away, I think 2 years ago now. And they did a signing, and it's just kind of sad to see him. I know he's had some health issues. And anyways, we have the actual fight contract from 1978 when he fought Muhammad Ali.
Wow.
And this one here, of course, it's got both of their signatures. Contracts, very, very popular, very important pieces. This one right here is at 36,000. It was in Las Vegas, and you've got
the
both.
First bout, right? Yeah.
What's that? Yes. Yep. You got that nice Ali signature, that nice full name that he used, and kind of changed as Parkinson's kind of set in the 80s, but. Just with his passing, Leon Spinks wasn't the biggest name, but he did win a championship.
He had his moment.
He did have his moment, and he got a Sports Illustrated cover.
I mean, how many times were you heavyweight champion of the world, Tony?
None.
Yeah.
In my dreams, maybe, but that's about it. That's about it. And the last item that I've got, I just love these because I remember these when I was a kid. I got the AWA wrestling, like the Road Warriors. I got the wrestling ones growing up in the Midwest. I don't remember seeing the basketball ones. I'm sure they were at Osco Drug. This is Jewel, but Osco Drug, same thing.
Jewel Osco.
Yes, and these have just gone up like crazy. And, it's a little bit, the look is a little scaled down. I don't think it was a licensed product. I don't think the NBA licensed them. But Michael Jordan, 1985 Prism Jewel sticker. EX Mint 6. X Mint 6, EX Mint. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, come on.
14,500. Very hard to find these. Of course, people who bought them would put them on, would put them on material. So there's not a lot of them that weren't left unpeeled. And this is one of the rare ones. And
people put them on their Trapper Keepers.
Yes. That would have been my thing. I don't know what I did with mine. I didn't have a Jordan, but I did have the Road Warriors and some of the wrestling ones. I may have to start buying
consigning?
those. Huh?
You interested in consigning?
Oh, they're long gone. I don't know where they are.
Well, plenty still going on. You can keep up with the bids for tonight on the recent bid activity screen at ha.com. Don't forget, more incredible material closing tomorrow night in session 2. Extended bidding begins at 10 p.m. Central Time for that. You can bid all night long in session 2. And We have our March Showcase auction coming up. That's going to open on Thursday the 4th. So just around the corner. It's going to be open for 2 weeks. And if you want your material presented the way only Heritage can, please reach out to us. A huge thank you to all our consigners and bidders. Without you guys, it'd just be me and Tony here talking about the Road Warriors probably, or something like that.
What about the wonderful video?
Yes, absolutely.
Our videographer.
We'll get to him. He
gets his own. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
of course. So
just making sure. I don't want to make sure.
We have the best bidders in the world. We have the best consigners in the world, and we do our best to try and please you on both sides of the paddle there. And we thank you for trusting Heritage, whatever side of the paddle you're on, and you should be on both sides. But thank you to everyone on our social team and our videography team, including Kyler, who's back there doing the work of 10 people.
He had the best chocolate chip cookies.
And he brought cookies tonight.
Almost as good as my mother's cookies.
Scoring some points. You don't mean
that.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Couldn't do it without them.
Mom's are a little better, but
always got to give a shout out to our operations team in sports, the best in the business. They handle every item that is consigned, coming in and going out. Well over 100 million annually, and has been for many years. It's an unbelievably difficult job. I used to do it back in the day, and it has progressed to the point where only true professionals can do it, which is what we have. Yes. They are unbelievable, and thank you to them.
They keep me in line. They do a wonderful job of that.
Which is a difficult.
That's very difficult. I say you guys got to stay
job.
on me. Stay on me. No, they do a fantastic job and
of
make
course,
our job very easy.
Thank you to everyone who's watching. We appreciate you. If you have any questions or comments, you can direct message us at any of our social platforms, and you can always email Tony at
TonyG@ha.com.
It's that easy.
Reggie Jackson, 725,000.
Wow. We'll end on that note. Everybody have a great weekend. Thank you, Tony, for being the straw that stirs the drink.
What a way to end it. Thank you.